Clap once if you can hear me. Clap twice if you can hear me. Clap 3 times if you can hear me. Clap 5 times if you can hear me. Welcome to ETHDenver. Get in there, John.
Hello, ETHDenver. All right, well, Shelling Point's over, so let's just go home. You guys ready? Nah, we're just getting going. All right. We're going to put this up. Can you share slides? How does this work exactly? You got me, Palmer? No. You got me? There we go. We got both sides. Cool. Welcome to ETHDenver 2022, everybody. The year of the Gway. We're going to do a few things, but be prepared. We've got a really pretty rapid-fire lineup of sponsors, of microtalks, and just a whole bunch of happenings that are going to go on this weekend at ETHDenver. So if you didn't catch the kickoff to the hackathon last Friday, that happened at the Art Hotel, my suggestion is go online if you're looking for really detailed information on judging, how to build a team, all of the really fine details of the actual Bidalathon itself. You're not going to get it tonight. So it's online, it's recorded, you can get it. We just don't have the time. Unless y'all want to be here till midnight, which I certainly don't, we got to get going. All right. So, anybody know who this is? So one of the things about ETHDenver that I just love is that it's a homecoming. It's like a family reunion of sorts. So, you know, we all kind of go our separate ways all across the globe, and then all of a sudden the energy of ETHDenver starts calling you to the mountains. And that actually happened. So Reese was going to go skiing and then actually messaged me and said, hey, dude, I can't stay away, man. Can I come? And we're like, hell yeah. So if you don't know, Reese was here in 2018. He's one of our co-founders. And, you know, he and I were sitting in the basement of a co-working space in downtown Denver talking about things that we should do. And he's the one who actually put together the first lineup of content in 2018. And we just built and built and built together. And it's like I said, it's like a family reunion. So we're glad to have him back. So I'm just going to go ahead and let him have the mic for a minute. You ready?
I'm ready. Woo! Hello, everybody. Thank you, John. It's so nice to be back here. It's so nice to see so many familiar and old faces. And I think for the people who are new here, it is a very tempting and amazing and alluring energy. You come here, you connect with your friends, you learn amazing things, and then you go home. And then once January, February of next year comes around, a lot of your friends will be coming and be like, are you going to ETHDenver? And it's just, you got to come back. So it's so beautiful to see old friends, and it's so exciting for the new folks who are here to be part of that journey. And we'll hear a little bit more from David about what that looks like. I also just want to say for everyone here, the amount of energy and effort it takes to get this 6-story building full of people, plus 6 other venues for like 2 weeks, it's a lot of work. So let's give a round of applause to John and Justin and everybody else who does that. Woo! And also GM friends, and good luck biddling.
All right, just to kind of kick into this, we're going to say welcome to the main event. So we've been doing Biddle Week all week. Who's been here for Biddle Week? What's up, Ruben? Front row, of course. Biddle Week, anybody? No? So I'm going to give you a little context here. So We had 3,000 people check in before Monday. We haven't had more than 2,500 people here before for the whole event. We had 20,000 applications to attend in person. 20,000. We have 7,000 of your friends, our friends, on the wait list. Unfortunately, even with 6 venues and jam-packing everything, we just can't get everybody in. So next year, we're going to plan a little bit differently. We're going to try to get as many people as we can every year. The goal is to keep building the family, keep building the community. So welcome. We're going to have a lot of fun. So before we get into the actual meat and potatoes of today's content, it's important to talk about SportDAO, what it means, what the history, ethos, and culture of ETHDenver is, how we kind of treat each other, and how we steward the event in our community. So this is the only slide pretty much that I covered last Friday, but this is a really important one. So Biddle, everybody know the meme? Anybody know where it came from? All right, so there's folklore that Kevin Owocki tweeted in the fall of 2017, don't hodl Biddle. It's not folklore, he actually did it, but nobody picked up on it. But then at ETHDenver 2018, we made it part of our social media strategy and we put it as a hashtag. Well, since then, there's been like 12 million mentions of Biddle. Biddle is the rally cry of the buffacorn. What the hell is a buffacorn? Well, the buffacorns are the magic of the unicorn and the strength of the buffalo. So we just bred them, created a whole meme story around it, and it's a lot of fun. So the super weird characters that are actually part of the buffacorn family, the spork marmot, sporky, spork whale, pegabuffacorn, and the buffaquay all represent different characters or different types of buffacorns that contribute to our community. So it's kind of choose your own character. Who do you relate to? But really, at the end of the day, it's about expressing your unique creativity into the community to create value. So what is stewardship? Stewardship is something that we take very seriously here at ETHDenver. Stewardship is where we look at our responsibilities to the community as more than just what do we get. Stewardship is thinking about what can we give. Now, it's not about money. We don't care about that. It's about contribution of creativity and contribution of collaboration. So we're all about Biddle here. So the best thing you can do is come and build a project, add value to the community, and ultimately create that stewardship through your contribution. Now, the best thing about ETHDenver is ETHDenver isn't really, it is, it's an organization, it's a cooperative legally, but SportDAO, the parent org, it's something much bigger than just some top-down hierarchical organization. It's a community of communities. We have 150 community sponsors from 6 continents. We have builders from over 100 countries participating. This is one of the most diverse communities in the world for building Web3 technology. So we're proud of that. That's actually really cool. You don't get to see that just anywhere. And I don't know about you, but for me, it doesn't feel like corporate-y or stuffy or anything like that. People are here because they want to be. People are here because they choose this culture. When you walk down the street of Broadway here, anybody else feel that vibe? That's the ETHDenver vibe. It's quite beautiful, actually. And we're going to continue to build on that this weekend. So I'm going to grab Hoffman. Come on up, man. We're going to talk about a couple of things, but I want to make an introduction. My good friend David here is an alumni of ETHDenver. He's going to tell his story in just a second. But one of the things that we want to emphasize here that's really important to the baseline ethos of ETHDenver is diversity and inclusion. We have underserved communities here because we help them come. We spend hundreds of thousands of dollars through our partners to help with scholarships, accommodations, travel, food, swag. You could literally show up with one set of clothes and end up with a suitcase full of stuff to take home. It's really cool. So as it relates to the culture ongoingly, the one beautiful thing about diversity is diversity of creativity. When you see what gets built this weekend, it will blow your mind. We've seen over 800 projects in 4 previous installations, and it never ceases to amaze me the power of the emergent qualities of this community. So collaborate, build, celebrate each other's creativity, and let's see what we can do. Now, David is our guest MC for tonight. So he's going to be, yeah. So if you don't know David, he is the co-host of a little podcast called Bankless. I think a few of us have heard of it. And he actually has a little story to tell about that. And we're going to give him the microphone to do that in just 1 second, but I'm going to rapid fire through what you're going to experience this weekend. So one thing to remember, we actually have 2 lounges now that are going to be Bufficorn Biddle Brigade. If you don't have your PFP, you can't mint them anymore. They mint it out. So you've actually got to go to OpenSea or Rarible to pick one up. In order to get into these 2 particular lounges, you actually have to have one. One's at the Colorado History Museum. The other one's at the Jonas Brothers Furs, powered by Near. Cool lounges, chill, hack space, whatever you want to do. Food, drinks, everything. If you haven't seen the map, it's just 3 blocks on this street, both sides of the street. There's different venues. We're right here in the Purple Sports Castle. Can you share my slides? No? Dudes. Thank you. All right. Bufficorns, you didn't see this probably. Who has a Bufficorn? Aren't they cute? I mean, Bufficorns are like the best. They are the best. Okay, so venues. Art Hotel on the north end, Mirrors Temple, which is the the track hub. The castle is where we are, the purple. Behind us is the Zen Zone, formerly over here, but now behind us. And then across the street is Jonas, is where the Bufficorn Biddle Brigade Lounge will be. And then right across from the Art Hotel, it's not highlighted actually, is the Colorado History Museum. We've added another venue space there because we just have so many people. If you're not able to join us in person, you can go virtual. Come to the virtual castle. You can dance as a Buffic way. You can do all sorts of fun stuff. Rapid fire. Check out the art gallery. Go upstairs to the makerspace. Hit the DJ chill room. Go to the Zen Zone for a gong bath. Go to the arcade. Check out some speakers and keynotes. You got kids? I do. I actually have 2 here. Where are they at? Hi. Kid friendly. Bring them. Childcare is free. And don't forget, the main reason why we're here is building. The one difference between ETHDenver and pretty much everything else that you'll go to of this size is we care about building first. It's not about the talking and the shilling and the peacocking. It's about building emergent order. So Biddle, we have $1.5 million in bounties and prizes plus $2 million in investment capital. Build, guys. That's what we're here for. Colorado Jam is back. Governor Polis will be here tomorrow night. Vitalik Buterin will also be doing a keynote tomorrow night. So if you want to check that out, the programming starts at 4:20. Colorado Jam. And that will go into the early evening with Vitalik. We've got Kimball Musk on the lineup. He's be announcing Big Green DAO. We've got Eric Voorhees, Kevin Iwaki, myself, a bunch of other Coloradans contributing to that. Governor Polis will be here doing a keynote, making some pretty important announcements. All right, scheduled time. You ready? Go for it.
Oh, am I doing this?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. All right.
And then, yeah, just roll into your story.
Okay, cool.
Or do your story, then schedule whatever.
All right. Schedule, February 11th to 20th. What's today, the 17th? 17th. So we got 3 more days of Biddle Week. 3 more days of hackathons, 3 more days to build out your projects, including all the side events, of which we'll probably see a lot of each other out tonight. The parties and the meetups. Also, ETHDenver, what you're all currently at. We got tomorrow and the day after to finish that up. And then a lot of people are going out to Breckenridge to go ski. Raise your hand if you're going skiing. Oh, wow, that's a lot of people. Okay, so the mountain's going to be full, so that's going to be a vibe. Oh, okay, so if you're not going, yeah, might not make it. Sorry. NGMI. And that's the schedule. Ready?
Yeah, so. All right, we're going to make it actually, though, right? So I'm going to pass the microphone to my good friend David here. He's going to guide the rest of the evening. If you have any questions, make sure you ask our stewards wearing these shirts, the teal shirts with the buffacorns on them. Those are the crew. So you can stop any of those folks to ask them. Probably a lot of questions you might have, so just stop us and we're happy to help. So, David, thanks, man. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you, John. Can I do this microphone? Oh, I am doing this microphone. Okay, cool. All right. What's up, everyone? So this is my ETHDenver story, and since it's mine, I obviously think it's kind of cool, and I'm going to tell it. In 2017, all the gaming subreddits were really, really angry that the GPUs were really highly priced. And I was like, well, I have a GPU. Like, why are they all getting upset? And turns out I could mine this thing called Ethereum and get like $4 a day, which was really handy because I was trying to get my way into physical therapy school, and I needed some passive income. And so I started mining Ethereum and decided to scale that up into a couple mining rigs. Basically invested all of the capital that I had into like these 4 mining rigs and put them into different corners of my father's house, including the bathroom, which every time a guest came over to the house, they were like super confused. And at some point I had to realize I need to actually learn what this Ethereum thing actually is. What the hell am I actually mining? What is this process even? And that was in the middle of 2017. While I was trying to study for the GRE, I really wanted to go to Boulder for their physical therapy program. But I found myself, instead of studying for the GRE, watching YouTube videos of Vitalik and like reading ICO white papers and really just like not paying a lot of attention to the whole grad school thing. And instead, Ethereum, like I think a lot of you can share, sucked more and more and more of my attention the more I paid attention to it, the more I went down the rabbit hole. And I discovered this thing called ETHDenver that was happening in February of 2018. And I could conveniently go to ETHDenver to like check out this Ethereum thing. And then on Sunday, I'll just like get myself up to Boulder to go to the physical therapy school just to check it out, right? So came over here and came in on Thursday. I didn't know a single person. And I arrived in ETHDenver and there were talks, there was coders giving talks about like bug problems that they were giving trivia about with. And then over in that room over there, we were talking about how private keys don't actually have an identity. So a private key doesn't tell you if you're a woman, a man, what country you're from, what age you are. And so private keys are inherently inclusionary. And I thought that was a cool concept. And I didn't know anything. And I didn't leave that conference knowing a lot more either. It was really over my head. But what I did realize, what I did know, that there was a vibe, that there was an energy. And for somebody that never really found my clique, my social group in high school or before that or in college, like my soccer team, like never really figured it out. I immediately resonated with everyone that was in this very room and that room over there and upstairs. And I didn't really know what to do. So I went to every single booth and talked to every single team about what they were doing, just trying to get the complete download into my brain. And it was really just about this immediate level of acceptance and this, like these futurists that also cared about social impact, that were unpacking this thing about social goods and figuring out how do we use this technology to actually fix the holes in society that we currently have. And so when I left ETHDenver in 2018, February 2018, it was the Saturday, and I was supposed to go to the physical therapy school that following Sunday, and I just never went. I rug pulled myself from physical therapy, and I sat right up there and just reflected for a moment after I had this conversation with a speaker over there, and just realized that I don't know what's going on here. I still don't know what Ethereum is. I still don't know what how a smart contract works or what proof of work is, but I know that this is my spot. I know that this is my community. And on Bankless, I've been shilling ETHDenver ever since then. And the fact that other people are coming here and they tell me that they're here because I shilled ETHDenver and they wanted to come check it out for themselves. Gives me so much just honor and purpose in my life. And if Ethereum does one thing in this world, if Ethereum's ever going to be successful, it's going to be instilling meaning and purpose in every one of our lives. And that's what ETHDenver did for me. And I've been back ever since. And in 2018, ETHDenver, we were just coming out of the ICO mania. Ether was like $600. And there was like, I don't know, like 3,000 people here. The energy was pretty damn good. I fell in love with it. In 2019, Ether was $100. So we got cut, we got just kneecapped. Like we were all broke. Except the energy at ETHDenver was like almost double the amount of vibrancy and the amount of excitement and the amount of realness. That's where I met Jenny and Luke from Brave. And I saw Luke 4 years later. He was still here. And then in 2019, Ether price was like $200, and the vibrancy was like 2x what it was the year before. And then the next year, 2020, we were not doing all that hot either. We were right about to go into the COVID crash, and the amount of energy was insane. And that was at like 6,000 people, 6,000 to 7,000 people at ETHDenver at that time. 2022, there are 15,000 ticketed people at ETHDenver. And that means we're doing something right. And if there's anything that ETHDenver does, is exactly what John Paula was saying, was onboarding as many people, not to just build, but to share in the vibes. And I hope everyone here is not just focused on number go up, but on vibe go up. And that is what ETHDenver has always been, is vibe go up. Vibe go up. And so I'm looking forward to ETHDenver 2023 and seeing what gets built at ETHDenver 2022, because it's gonna help us build more vibes. And if there's anything to bring the world closer together, it's figuring out how to scale vibes to the rest of the world. And this is the epicenter of that, which is ETHDenver. So that's my ETHDenver story. And I hope it resonated with a few of you. And with that, I'm gonna bring on a master of vibes, Jonathan Mann, who creates vibes every single day and has done for thousands and thousands of days. I think like 13,000, I don't know how many thousands of days. How many days have you made a vibe, John?
It's been 13 years and 47 days today.
That he has made and produced and sang a song every single day. And so I think we're about to hear one of those songs right now.
We are, but we got to do something very important before we do that. It is, well, why don't you say it?
So 4 years ago, there was a birthday on ETHDenver. And so we've kind of made it like a tradition to sing to my daughter, Bria. Her birthday is today. She's 8 and she's really shy. So I'm not going to make her come up on stage. She's like super hiding right now, but we're going to sing to her. Everybody ready? Ready? This is, you got it?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Priya. Happy birthday to you.
We love you, Bria. All right, you gonna do your song, dude?
Yeah.
Stoked, man. Let's do it.
All right, so yeah, as Mr. Hoffman said, I've been writing a song a day every day for the last 4,796 days. In fact, this is the 4,796th song. I wanted to tell a little story that this used to be my gig, is playing at conferences. I used to go to conferences and recap them at the end. And the last gig I had before this one was just pre-pandemic, 2019. I was in Midland, Texas at a fracking conference. And I was very unhappy to be there. But at that point, I was not at the point where I could turn down, the 10 grand that they were paying me to sing about fracking, right? Like, I don't want to sing about fracking. I hate fracking. I'm against fracking. But like, I couldn't say no to it. I started building my NFT project in 2017, and this year I sold out all 4,000 of the NFTs that I dropped on December 31st, made 750 ETH. I never have to sing about fracking ever again. Now I can sing about things that I want to sing about, like this. This is the Gwei. This is the Gwei. We biddle all day and coordinate. Is it perfect? No, but together we learn and grow. This world we shape in 1,000 little ways. We say WAGMI, we are all ride or die for each other, no matter what comes our way. And we say GM, it's always morning in Ethereum. Heed the Buffacorn's call, this is the Gwei. Oh, this is the Gwei. Oh, this is the Gwei. Yeah, this is the Gwei. Oh, this is the Gwei. Everybody sing this is the Gwei. Oh, this is the Gwei. Ooh, this is the Gwei. Oh, this is the Gwei, and this is the Gwei. Thank you, everybody. That's all I got for you tonight. Now back over to my friend David.
All right, at the ETHDenver, we like knowledge, and we're about to give you the fastest download into your brain about so many different projects. Starting with what? Huh? Oh, we're going to do that in a second. Can I hand it off to you? Yeah, sure. I don't know what comes next. Oh,
okay. All right, just real quick, I've got one last piece of thing I'm going to hook up here for my friend Russell from the state of Colorado. So this is my last one, David. Then it's you. All right. So Colorado Jam. What it is? Colorado Jam is a public-private partnership with the state of Colorado. So Russell is part of the state Office of Information Technology and Innovation. And he's going to talk to us about the Colorado Jam track and what we're offering. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, man.
Hey, everybody. I am the Director of Digital Transformation for OIT for the state of Colorado. So we do the technology, and it is a really fun job. It is the best title in the state next to governor, and I love it. And this is my third official ETHDenver as part of the state, and my fourth just overall. Now, why are we doing Colorado Jam? The whole track for Colorado Jam is really important to the state. And, you know, you can see out there for like the last 3 years, you've got all these state governments and all these folks saying blockchain's the way to go. And you've seen all these great Web3 and blockchain applications coming out from all the states all over, right? I mean, they're just amazing. No, they're nowhere. There are none. It's mortifying. So why are we still out here when nothing's happened yet? Well, it's really simple. The governor has told all the state employees that we need to be bold. Okay, and that's not an easy thing for you to do in any bureaucracy. But in order for you to be bold, you have to find a safe place to operate. And so what we are depending on everybody, all the hackers out here, all the biddlers to do is to show us, don't tell us, show us what is possible. Show us where we can leverage the technology from Web3, the technology from blockchain, to where we can go implement something that's still going to be there in 5 years. We still run mainframes, right? We still run mainframes. So we have to have something that can last a long time. So what you're doing is showing us how we can be bold, how we can go forward and have the state as the first blockchain-based application. So this could be our biggest year yet. Our track is made up of 4 main subject areas. And so there's what our problem is, like what we're trying to solve. What we're trying to solve. And then there's what you as teams can do. And so there's this year or last year, there was legislation that passed to get feedback on rules. So we had to make a portal for them to do searches and so you can find out if you want to have like a dog business, all the rules associated with dogs. Well, we also want to give you a way to do feedback if you're a Colorado citizen. And we think that that's a great use case to where we can use blockchain to make sure that the message has integrity, that that's got non-repudiation, all those kinds of things that you can do with a great blockchain application. But it's not something that, if it doesn't work exactly right, will mean the state stops working, like the Department of Revenue or something. So we have My Colorado. How many people out there have the My Colorado app? Have heard of it? Thank you. I know there's not that many Coloradans here right now, so download it now. Anyway, so you can verify people using that and even tack on an additional My Colorado bounty. And then this is something that we could see this year, this calendar year, having an application that's blockchain based for the state. That link that I'm showing is where you can find out more of the rules or more of the things. We also have a really cool thing, the Livestock Brands Registry. So all the cattle out there have brands on them. They're not like brands like Nike, they're brands like branded into their skin. And if you look at this, it's a very, very basic. It looks like it was made back in 1852, back when they were doing CGI-based programming. And anyway, this would be a great place to show your chops and how you can design something with Web3 based on blockchain, and even throw in crypto payments, because that's hot right now. We would love to give you additional bounties on crypto payments that are integrated in there. How many of you heard the talk on quadratic funding last year from the Greenfield Pitches? Not that many of. Well, Kevin Walkie gave a talk about how quadratic funding could work, and it really got a lot of people in government excited. And there are all sorts of options that you have out there. Show us how you could do polling, surveys, and even funding where people and DAOs and non-government organizations could help contribute to a project that might be federally funded or maybe gets federal matching funds to make it more likely. We could fix all the potholes in the state for 1/10 of the money if we did it the right way. Cool stuff. And my personal favorite is My Colorado integration. We are the first state to do electronically verifiable proof of identity. We have several of the teams have already started using that webhook API that we have that you can find on there, and you can learn how to set it up. But you can, we've got a track for the best implementation with an integration with My Colorado. We also have bounties that you can throw on to other things. So if you're authenticating people to make sure they are who they say they are, if you want to do a KYC module, if you want to tie in Discord so they can prove you are who you say you are, whatever it is, we are looking for as many My Colorado integrations as possible. It's super simple. And if any of you have any questions about this, we're going to be over in Temple starting tomorrow morning, so you can ask us questions about any of these. Now, on to the last and really super exciting thing is we have Greenfield Pitches, which I mentioned already from last year. And this time we've got 4 main focus areas. So we're asking the entire community. You could be a sponsor, it could be a team, you could be just a brainiac that's operating on your own. And you could say, hey, I can help. Here's an idea. So we've got a URL. You can submit your ideas for a 5-minute pitch in front of our executive team, and potentially be a part of the Colorado Jam Incubator that's funded by the Spork DAO. The first one is energy, promoting renewable energy throughout Colorado, leveraging blockchain technology. The other one is how we can do recovery and growth, economic growth within Colorado, and promote that, track it, really any aspect of it with blockchain. And incentivize improving the environment, especially some of the issues that we have with the legacy fossil fuels like uncapped wells and things like that. How can we come up with a system that will provide the gaming and the motivations that we need in the public to make those kinds of things happen? And the one that's most exciting, and I'm really excited to hear actually Vitalik talk about this tomorrow, is digital citizenship. What does it mean to be a digital state? What does it mean to be a digital citizen? How is it different than doing it IRL, right? Or doing it how we've done it in the past? So much more is possible. Why can't we vote from anywhere in the world? Why we have to vote out of the box? Why is it that, all these different questions, managing all of it, we're excited to see all these different pitches for the next frontier of statehood. So thank you a lot. We're excited to see what you biddle. And I can't wait to mix and match with all you guys. Appreciate it.
Awesome. All right. So here's where the download, including that, comes from. I'm going to bring up Sandeep from Polygon. Polygon, the thing that saved Ethereum during its current and previous congestion crisis.
Yeah, let's get this going. And we're going to have to just mirror your display. There we go. Are you seeing the slide?
Yes. Okay. Oh, okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
What's up, Den? Hello. What's up, Denver? So I'm Sandeep. I'm one of the co-founders at Polygon, and yeah, I'm here to talk about Polygon a bit. Basically, see the thesis of Polygon. Like just to revise a bit, the thesis of Polygon is that Ethereum is the settlement layer of this, internet of value that we are creating. We all call it Web3 or multiple different definitions. We believe that Ethereum has already emerged as the settlement layer of this Web3, and the application layer will happen on the layer 2, right? And then that's what we are calling transaction layer. If you see the slides also, so we believe that at layer 2, we are trying to become the transaction layer where applications can build on top of. At Polygon, we believe in giving the power back to the developers, right? Instead of having a very narrow definition of, okay, this is layer 2, this is sidechain, this is this, we want to give the power back to the developers where you choose that what solution fits your application the best. So let's say if you are Facebook, you're going to have hundreds of millions of transactions on your own. You're probably not good with let's say a public chain, because no matter which that public blockchain is, it's going to choke. And then it's not possible to be on a public shared chain. So such kind of applications can choose something like, let's say, Polygon SDK, where you can create your own chains. Similarly, let's say if you are building a gaming or an NFT project, you might be happy with Polygon POS, which is somewhere middle in the spectrum I am showing you. That spectrum basically starts from the left side where you have least security from Ethereum to the right extreme where you have full security from Ethereum. So, if you are a gaming and NFT project, you might be happy to work with Polygon POS chain only, which currently has become really, really popular. And then if you want to have a fully Ethereum secured environment for your application, you might end up choosing a zero knowledge rollup where we are not, working on not one, but 4 different flavors of zero knowledge solutions. Plus we have a data availability layer. So the idea here is that giving the power back again to the developer where you choose which solution fits you the best. So that's why we are not trying to build one particular kind of solution. Instead, trying to be an aggregator for all this transaction layer or Ethereum scaling solutions where you choose where you want to build on top of. In terms of the adoption of the ecosystem, as you guys, many of you guys might know, we are today not one of the basically the most adopted ecosystem with Alchemy saying 7,000 plus applications built on Polygon, the entire DeFi, entire NFT, infrastructure applications, they are all available on Polygon today. So if you want to build a DeFi application which uses Aave, Uniswap, and various different kind of protocols, and you want to have composability, you have everything on Polygon POS chain. So similarly on DeFi, OpenSea is available and multiple different other protocols which you need for NFT applications are available. Now, this is all about what Polygon has achieved, till today. But going to the future, we are going big on ZK. And that's where we committed $1 billion for ZK scaling for Ethereum. And today, as I said, that we are not building one, but we are building 4 different flavors of zero knowledge rollups. Primarily, we are using zero knowledge cryptography for computation verification. Basically, you have these, you execute your code or logic on a layer 2, and then use zero knowledge cryptography to prove that computation back on Ethereum main chain. So that's computation verification. And then you guys know that zero knowledge can be used for the data privacy. And we are also using the combination of both in some of our solutions. So, as I mentioned, that we are building 4 different flavors of zero knowledge technology, zero knowledge rollup, which includes Polygon Hermes, who are building a full-blown ZK EVM, where you run your Solidity code directly on the ZK EVM. You have Polygon Zero and Polygon Mining, which are using combination of Starkware and Snarks, Stark and Snarks, basically, to provide the scalability on these. And they have different kind of transpiling models and things like that. And similarly, we have Polygon Nightfall, which we are doing with the Ernst & Young, which provides layer 2 scalability using an optimistic rollup, but it also provides privacy for enterprises to use. And we are already seeing some really top enterprises building on Polygon now, which we'll be talking more about in coming days. So in terms of the innovation trends, we already have some early testnet level versions of ZK rollups already. Polygon Hermes is probably the only decentralized ZK rollup, but it only provides payments. But we are building on the full-blown EVM compatibility. We are able to now generate ZK proofs on browser and mobile devices, which would be really critical for the eventual mass adoption of blockchains. Similarly, with Polygon Zero team announced Plonky 2, which is the currently 100x faster than any other recursive zero knowledge proof generators. So that also is going to play a very big role. And similarly, we are also helping a lot of dApps to build the zero knowledge technology based solutions, DAOs to implement privacy. And then we are also going to do a very big foray into identity side of things that you guys will soon see in coming days. You will see some of the bigger announcements from our side. So that is also pretty cool. And at Polygon, we are moving, we already are very big at adoption and shipping, and now we are going bigger and bigger on the innovation side of things with zero knowledge. That's all from my side. And also, we have a large ecosystem now growing, and we are helping ecosystem teams to find amazing talent. So if any one of you is interested in applying to any of the ecosystem projects at Polygon, please visit ecosystemjobs.polygon.technology. And you'd be able to find some of the really cool projects to work with. So that's all from my side. Thank you so much, everyone.
All right. Thank you, Sandeep. I'm bringing back John to talk about Opolis, which is a DAO that helps other DAOs exist, which is really important.
All right, we on? Cool. Maybe this will work. It did. Look at that. All right, so in addition to all this ETHDenver stuff, I actually have a day job, and it's called Opolis. So if you haven't been around ETHDenver before, you might not know what it is, but you might. But before, I'm just going to say GM friends again. I'm not going to shill a ton. Maybe a little, but for the most part, we're going to do kind of a look back. So 2018, I was actually on this stage announcing this concept called decentralized employment organizations, so like DEOs. And it's evolved a little bit. So this is like 4 years later, right? And we've now kind of evolved it to this concept of a member-owned digital employment cooperative. So if you really prefer it, we can call it a DAO, but this is actually me 4 years ago doing this, right? So the things that we talk about at Opolis, we're still doing. It's pretty cool when you look back in the time machine of things, and you're like, wait, we didn't actually change much. It's evolved, but it hasn't changed. So an employment DAO, that's a little bit more accessible for the Web3 crowd. So digital employment cooperative or employment DAO. Now, what the hell does that mean? So DAO workers, or really anybody working independently, have big problems. it's actually really hard to be independent. If you're in the US, we have this really silly thing where your health care is tied to your employment. If you have benefits, they suck. Administrative stuff, like, it's complicated. I mean, have you been in business for yourself before? I mean, it's not easy. Most of us are creative doing something other than like working on our business and keeping like accounting books and things. If you get paid via a DAO, it's probably a good chance that you're getting paid in crypto. So how do you get that to a place where you can actually pay for your rent? It can be pretty expensive. I mean, even KYC on exchanges is difficult. And then if you want to buy a house or actually have some legitimacy in the world, having a W-2, not happening. And then compliance, yeah, right. Okay, we don't even think about that. So the TLDR on Opolis it's an employment DAO that provides payroll, benefits, and shared services to independent workers. Now, you don't have to be just a DAO worker, although this is a really hot use case. Now, why? DAOs aren't legal entities. DAOs don't have centralized accounting departments and HR groups and things like that. In fact, they really don't want to have those things. So how do you live in the world of crypto and actually still have a life, right? So how do you do both? Well, this is what Opolis has built, is the bridge between Web 2 and Web 3. Now, in addition to that, our members can earn tokenized rewards. So we call this process payroll mining. And you can actually receive these tokens for just running your payroll, referring your friends who run payroll, and then also staking your tokens in the member dashboard. Now, the look back, this is the part that I'm probably most excited about. So we launched our product in the public beta in the fall of 2020. And it was a little bit of a slow start. But this year, 2021, looking back, 1,000% growth plus. We had a 191x multiplier in employee and coalition membership growth. And we've issued 19.5 million work tokens in payroll mining rewards. I mean, this is really big stuff, okay? You want to talk about getting traction in a real world use case for crypto and the future of digital communities? We now have almost 2,700 new coalition members in 1 year, over 1,000% growth in member growth, 1,074% growth in payroll volume per cycle. And that number is growing to over 1 million every 2 weeks. Now we have this thing called epochs. These are growth metrics. So when we grow as a tokenized community, that's the inflation model for the tokens. So as we grow and as we hit these milestones, these epochs, that's when these tokens are being issued. And we've hit 13 of them in the last 12 months, which is huge. Now, from a product roadmap standpoint, I mean, this is just, you might not even know what any of this is, but really we're optimizing our payroll in crypto. So all the crypto mechanisms, we're adding layer 2. So you'll be able to remit your payroll on Polygon, other layer 2s that are less gas intensive. And we're going to give you more options on tokens that you can pay. So it's not just Ether and stables and Bitcoin. We'll actually add a bunch of different things. And more incentives, more community, more community, more community, more community. Now, the one piece of emphasis that I'll say about community again, Opolis depends on our game dynamics around referrals. You can't grow a community like we're trying to grow in a traditional way. In fact, we're not even going to try. So our members are incentivized to bring their friends. And it's non-competitive, it's non-dilutive. So the more, the merrier. So if you're here, come check us out. We have a booth up on level 3, right next to the DJ Chill Room. We have some sweet work token t-shirts. You can check those out. If you're interested in looking for work, projects will be posting jobs on a free public utility called the Opolis. It's no-cost job board. You can actually use it, find work, or post jobs. And follow us on crypto Twitter. So I'm at Pallerjohn, or you can follow at Opolis. Hashtag future of work, hashtag work, and hashtag work force. All right. We also have some bounties. I didn't go through them, but you can come talk to our folks at the booth. I'm actually out of time. I should shut up now because I have too much of the stage anyway. And we'll look forward to seeing everybody around. Thanks a bunch.
Stall for a little bit.
Yep, go for it.
I can go up there and just.
Say, hey,
All right. The reason why no one's kind of up here yet is because we got 2 videos coming from 2 sponsors, and that's what's about to show up right over there. So wait for it.
Hey everyone, my name is Stan Nikolachov. Hey everyone, my name is Stan Nikolachov. I'm the founder and CEO of Aave, and Aave is the team that created the Aave protocol, which is one of the most exciting DeFi protocols out there. And also we're a team that builds a lot of Web3 infrastructure. Recently, we launched the Lens protocol that is open, social, Web3 graph. And the idea is that you can build any kind of like a composable social media applications without recreating the platform effect that traditional Web2 social media companies need to do when they launch new social media applications. Aave also builds a lot of other interesting things. We, for example, are focusing now on building NFT as a collateral protocol, and also we have amazing experimentations department called Nude. And the idea of Nude is that we create different kinds of experimentations, smart contract based or just something in between, with the community, openly in transparent fashion. We have open Figma sessions, open coding sessions, and the idea is to try something that hasn't been tried before and obviously fail quite a lot. So that's what experimentations is. In terms of the Aave protocol, there is a lot of things you can build, but also to give more wider context. So we have been supporting hackathons for a few years now, and ETHDenver is definitely one of the magical times out there. So magical that I had to put some makeup on to come here and spook you all out. And most important message I will say is that have fun, make friends, be polite, be kind, but also embrace innovation, embrace ideas, find things that you basically want to build or share ideas. The more you share with the community, the more feedback you get. And essentially, if you're a newcomer to the whole Web3 space, just enjoy, have fun, and make friends. That's I think is the most important thing. Thank you so much, and I wish everyone nice time at Denver. And follow us on Twitter. Meet our team there. We have a lot of people there from Aave, from Lens, and Newt. And wish you all have a good time. And thank you so much for doing this. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Excited to see you at the ETHDenver Hackathon, and even more excited about all the amazing things that I know you're going to build. I think that our industry is in a truly amazing place. It has started to reinvent entire other key global industries like the financial system through DeFi, the art world through NFTs, and gaming through fraud-proof blockchain gaming. This and more is really a complete departure from what it was when I began in this industry many years ago. And it's a huge improvement on what people are able to achieve with blockchain technology, combined with various other infrastructure like Oracle networks. I'm truly excited to see what comes out of this hackathon, and I view the hackathon here at ETHDenver as really a barometer of what can be built using the various infrastructure in the form of blockchains and Oracle networks that become combined to create more advanced hybrid smart contracts, such as DeFi, advanced dynamic NFTs, and various other cool use cases, decentralized insurance being one that I'm particularly fond of. I think that this is a great opportunity that everybody here should take immense advantage of. There is an amazing array of infrastructure, both in the form of Chainlink Oracle networks and various other pieces of infrastructure that can be combined into more and more advanced hybrid smart contracts. The amount of resources available at this hackathon, both in terms of the amount of smart people and the amount of capital that's looking to actually put itself into a high quality project that does something useful or just basically fun for the entire ecosystem, is at an all-time high. And generally speaking, I think that this is also a great opportunity to meet amazing people that you can collaborate on these things with. I've been lucky to meet some of the best people that I know at events like this. Organized by amazing people like the ETHDenver hackathon organizers, which I think we should all be very grateful to. Beyond all that, I really do think that our industry is at a place where it is able to reinvent entire critical industries. And that is what we're all really taking part in by being at this hackathon and becoming part of something more than just making an application that does something repetitive and basic, like what you see in a lot of the web world. The ability to reinvent how things work in this industry is really unparalleled. And I think that this hackathon is a great place to do that by once again combining various pieces of infrastructure like blockchains and Oracle networks to make more and more advanced smart contracts. I wish you all the best of luck. And if you're new to our industry, I want to welcome you to a community of people that are very open-minded and want to change the world in a fun, productive way. Good luck to everybody. Have fun, and immensely excited to see what comes out of the many hours of hard work that I know you'll diligently put in. Thank you.
All right, that was Sergey from Chainlink, who we all know and love. Next up, we got Ilya from Near, and Near has been hacking. As you can tell, Near's been hacking at ETHDenver since as long as I can remember. So here we go.
Hi, thank you, everyone. Great to be here. Uh, the usual technical. In 2022, at some point in the future, we'll figure out how to have like seamless experience. But until then. So, hey everyone, I hope you have a great time at this event. It's amazing how much it grew since first time I went in 2019, which was pretty late, but it's amazing. Pretty much like 15,000 people kind of around Denver right now hacking and kind of being present here. No? I can just do it without slides. All right. Well, so for those who are not familiar with Near, we are sharded proof of stake blockchain. We are focused on simplicity, on security, and on scalability. Simplicity really means that you, as a user, you should not need to know about hashes, private keys. You should just use the applications and pretty much get the value you want. It also means as a developer, you don't need to learn new languages that you don't know yet. It doesn't mean you need to learn new paradigm. You have the same experience you have usually in Web 2. It's microservice architecture, and you can get pretty much things going. But also if you're from Web 3, there's all the tools you need to develop the same way you've developed on Web 3 already. We are pretty much first truly sharded blockchain that running live with 4 shards. We have 1-second blocks, low fees, and growing ecosystem across kind of almost all continents. I think we don't have Antarctica yet, but we should work on that. And we have 6th largest developer ecosystem in Web3, thanks to people here and people around the world. So if there were slides, you would have seen kind of a cool ecosystem map of different projects who are actually present here at the event. But I'll just mention there's Aurora. That's folks are here. Aurora is EVM pretty much layer that runs on Near. And it pretty much provides you exactly the same experience, carbon copy of developing on Ethereum on Near. And offers you low fees, fast transaction fidelity, and exactly the same RPCs, including the fees by users are paid in Ethereum. So everything is exactly the same, except it's fast and cheap. And you have a trustless bridge that connects Near to Ethereum, and you can pretty much transact and move assets between them. And if you want to learn more, check it out. And we also have here, and you'll learn more kind of throughout this few days about Pagoda. Pagoda is the first Web3 startup platform, and it's designed to make your life as a startup entrepreneur, as a developer, extremely easy to launch kind of your startup. Everything from getting access to data, RPCs, indexing, to things like launching tokens, managing your contracts, upgrading, all those things that, through the whole life cycle, things like analytics, triggers, kind of alarms that you want as a developer and entrepreneur. So check out pagoda.co. And there's a developer console where you can start playing with. It actually has probably the fastest way to launch an NFT marketplace and NFT, kind of your own NFT collections, because it literally embedded, one click, you have a project already with contracts, and you can just hook in with a bunch of JavaScript code into your front end. So try it out, pagoda.co. So here, kind of at ETHDenver, we have a ton of, we have 15 prize categories, $25,000 in prizes. So ETHDenver.com/bounty/near. And, there's a bunch of people kind of here around who are with Near or are Near. And yeah, connect with us. We would love to help you build something amazing. We have a booth where you can actually claim Near wallet, get some Near, play some with some NFTs. So come over. It's a shield zone 2nd floor. And then if you, after you finish here, first of all, submit also this. We have a meta build online hackathon where you can get kind of double down for the price of the same weekend, as well as you have near.org/grants where you can apply for a grant and actually kickstart this into the stratosphere with your amazing startup. So again, thanks for everyone. Happy hacking, and great to be here.
Test. Next up, we got Mike from Consensus Mesh. Mike, come on down. Let's do this.
Hey, everybody. How you doing? Mike Kriak. Oh, I like this. All right. These are some of my near friends over here. How's it going? Hey, I'm Mike Kriak, Managing Operating Partner at Consensus Mesh. First of all, I want to shout out to all the newbies. Have we got a lot of newbies here right now, or oh, you're all old school? Noobs? Oh my God, you're all old school? Oh, this is great. I was like looking around. I have so many friends from Web 2 coming in, and they're like, can't get in. They're like, what is going on here? I'm like, it's all right. It'll be fine. It'll be okay. So look, I want to talk a little bit about Consensus Mesh. For us, it's all about meeting the founders where they are. We've has about 190 positions, 250 founders, about 5,000 community members in our portfolio. It's about realizing our mission to champion the adoption of Web3 technologies. So through that investment, incubation, acceleration of decentralized projects, Consensus has helped building the age of community. And I really want to focus on that concept of age of community. So what do we mean when we talk about that? We're talking about talent first, in the service of the project, the people who want to build together. It's also about equal incentivization for developers and users alike. So it's about coordinating and collaborating in a DAO, especially in relation to NFT projects. I did a talk earlier today called DAO or Die, the future of PFP NFTs. And it's so important to be able to focus on that concept. For here, it's really about building that sense of community and the age of community. And that's what we're focused on at the Mesh. So I like a little shout out over there. Okay, fantastic. That's good. So we've always been a melting pot of people with different backgrounds who all share the same philosophy. It's that we can build systems and structures that society needs through decentralized blockchains. As such, Consensus has existed in service of and the advancement of decentralized systems, which help elevate the people behind the technology. So we focus on everything from building and designing software stacks to supporting growth through investment and incubation. And now, consistently through DAOs, we're helping to build the tools to help make DAOs better. We're incubating them, we're investing in them, we're focusing on DAOs and how DAOs can be better. So really, oh yeah, I like the shout outs. This is good. There we go. These are my friends from my prior talk. Fantastic. This is good. All right, good. So who is building in the age of community and how are they doing it well today? Well, obviously within our portfolio, I think there's some amazing projects. So I'd like to highlight a little bit of their work because for us, it's really about our portfolio and the projects. So let's give a shout out to Gitcoin. How do we love Gitcoin? Woo! How about Kevin Iwaki, right? How amazing is Kevin, right? That philosopher king just crushes it. Whether it's quadratic lands, forum discussions, delegate voting, building from the treasury directly, they're absolutely nailing it. I'm very proud to be on the board of Gitcoin. I'm very proud to be working with Kevin every day. 3Box Labs, let's hear it for 3Box. All right, woo! All right, Ceramic's gonna be launching fully open onto mainnet, allowing Web3 developers everywhere to plug their applications into Ceramic's composable data network. So keep an eye out for that, for sure. What about Tribute Labs, right? Aaron and Pri, let's hear it. All right, fantastic. So whether it's the Lao or Flamingo, Ready Player, to name a few, they're really, and they just recently launched their 10th DAO in relation to exclusive music-related NFTs called Noise. So check it out. One other big one, you might not know of Tree Trunk, treetrunk.io. So John Walbart's giving a talk tomorrow. So check that out over on the other event, the side venue over here, Temple. So check it out tomorrow, Tree Trunk. This is going to be the first NFT smart contract that pays royalties to creators and collectors directly on the blockchain. This is something a lot of us have been speaking about and speaking a lot about in relation to NFTs. So keep an eye out for that. And what about Tachyon? How about we got any Tachyon alums out there? Yep, maybe, nope, okay. Wow, we love Tachyon, we love Gabriel. And also check out Decrypt. Decrypt just recently launched PubDAO. So think of PubDAO as akin to a decentralized Associated Press, where story ideas get brainstormed openly in Discord. It's a truly collaborative process that favors coordination over competition in the context of news. So even some more exciting news to come from them in the current weeks. So with well over 40 positions incubated and spun out, including 12 in 2021, our focus is now all about incubating new projects in DAO tooling, coordination, and collaboration. We love the DAOs. It's all about the DAOs. So having a series of conversations with leading global institutions on how DAOs can coordinate and incentivize the future of workplaces like talent, just to name a few. So reach out to us, come say hi, come build with us, and thanks for listening.
All right. Are you guys ready for this one? Say hello to Cello with Marek. Here we go.
Thank you. Hey, can I get that mic?
If that starts getting feedback, you might use that.
Sure. Hey guys, I'm Marek from the Cello Ecosystem. It's really wonderful to be here. I'm a huge fan of ETHDenver. As you can see from my 2021, very rare, very difficult to get 2021 ETHDenver t-shirt. It's incredible to be sponsoring. And we're here just to talk a little bit about the Cello ecosystem. If you're new to Cello, first of all, hi. It's wonderful to be here. It's great. And Cello is a fully EVM compatible chain. So we consider ourselves firmly in this Ethereum ecosystem, but there are a bunch of additional features that Cello has on top of Ethereum. And the ecosystem is really drawn together by Cello's mission, which is to build a financial system that creates the conditions for prosperity for everyone. And so a lot of people are really excited about this mission, and that means that we have a very global focus as an ecosystem. Cello is primarily used in Latin America, Africa, and Southeast Asia. It also means that we have a very mobile focus. Everything that we do is very, very, very mobile first. And then if you want prosperity for all, you need to fight climate change. And so Cello cares really, really a lot about climate change. And so, fun fact, you may not know this, but Cello is the first chain to be fully carbon negative or carbon neutral. Back when the network launched a year and a half ago, right from day one, Cello has been paying Project Ren using block rewards in order to subsidize in order to pay Project Ren to buy carbon offset credits to offset the carbon created by the network. Now, Cello is a proof of stake chain, so it's using very, very little, it's emitting very, very little CO2. But even then, we want it to be fully carbon neutral. And so right from the get-go, we worked really hard to offset all of that carbon. Now, all of these features, this mission, have attracted a lot of builders to the Cello ecosystem. Here's a little ecosystem map. There's a healthy amount of DeFi happening in Cello. There's a lot of NFT stuff. We've yet to have a DAO takeover, but hopefully, or maybe that will happen soon. But there's also a lot of payments that are happening on Cello, and I think this is really unique. I mentioned that Cello has a few plus features. One of those is the fact that you can pay for gas with tokens themselves. And so this means that if you want to send a stable coin to another address, you can actually pay for that transaction fee using that stable coin itself. And so that means that there's a lot of payments now happening on Cello, which is really, really exciting. I mentioned there's also a lot of mobile. Cello has an incredible mobile wallet that I really encourage you to check out. It's called Valora. If you haven't used Valora yet, I encourage you to try it out. It's a decentralized Venmo. You can actually send payments, stable coins, directly to people in your contact list. So Cello has a decentralized phone verification protocol, which is pretty incredible. It allows you to actually send value to any phone number in the world, even before the recipient has installed a wallet. And it can do this in a fully decentralized way. There's a multi-step decentralized phone verification protocol. And so that's really exciting. But probably the most exciting news, the most exciting company that's in the Cello ecosystem, you may have heard recently that Kickstarter is planning to decentralize. Yeah. Huge news. We're super excited, and we're even more excited because they've chosen to do so on Cello. So they're really, really excited about the fact that we're carbon negative, the fact that we have a compelling mission, and the fact that we have a global audience. And so Kickstarter is coming. It's coming to Cello. Keep an eye on it. It's going to be really, really, really exciting. And so if any of this sounds at all interesting, if you're curious, definitely come talk to us. I'm going to be hanging out over here. Come grab me. There's also a lot of us from the ecosystem here at the conference. We have a booth over by the Myra Art Gallery, so come check us out over there. And then we have about 5 or 6 or 7 talks throughout the week, so come check those out. They're going to be really great. And if you are if you like events like this, and I'm assuming you do, because who doesn't? Cello is organizing Cello Connect. It's going to be in Barcelona, first week of Barcelona. Mina Kunis is going to be speaking, as well as some incredible builders. It's going to be really, really exciting. And best of all, you can buy your ticket. You can buy your plane ticket to Barcelona using Valora, using Cello dollars, and using an app called Fly Wallet. All on your phone in a mobile-first way, settled on the blockchain. Hope to see you there. Thank you.
All right, coming up next, we got Give from Harmony. Give it up for Give. Give a round of applause.
Hello, hello. Hey, everyone. I'm Give from Harmony. Who came to the show last night? Dead Mouse? All right, yeah. Epic show. I'm going to keep it short. I'm just going to quickly talk about Harmony's $300 million ecosystem fund. It's really for all the builders here. So the ecosystem fund was launched around October of last year, and we've funded over 100 projects, totaling in over $20 million, right? So we want to give money away for you guys to come and build. The application process is really straightforward. You read the guidelines, you post your proposal on our public forum, the community gets to review it, and we'll make a decision very quickly, within a couple of days. So if you're a builder, if you have a project, maybe you have a prototype, maybe you have a really well fleshed out business plan, go ahead and apply. I'd love to give you guys $50,000 to come and launch on Harmony. No strings attached, some strings. That's it. You can find all information on harmony.one/apply. We've got the guidelines there, and you can have a look at all the existing proposals on talk.harmony.one. That's our forum. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me directly. I'm everywhere. You can come see us at the Harmony booth upstairs. Contact me on Telegram. GIV808 is my handle. I'd love to speak to you and help you guys get funded. That's it. Thank you so much.
All right, coming up next, we got Sergey from 1inch. Raise your hand if you've used 1inch. I definitely have. Look at that. Here we go.
So hi everyone, my name is Sergey, and I'm the co-founder of 1inch Network. So we are maybe one of the best examples for everyone here who is a builder. And our story started on the hackathon. So and Anton Bukov, We participated on the hackathons around the globe back from December 2018 up to 2020. And we love ETHDenver because we were also staying here on the main stage back in 2020 when we were participating as builders. About 1inch itself, 1inch is a network of, it's a decentralized network of distributed protocols. There are a lot of people already working on that. That's around more than 100 people. 1inch is a one-stop access to decentralized finances. That means 1inch aggregates the whole liquidity on multiple networks. If you use 1inch, you have access to more than 55 billions of liquidity. We achieved already more than 180 billions of dollars volume since May 2019 when we have built it on ETH New York over just two sleepless nights. And we have almost 2 million of wallets already interacting with 1inch. You should maybe think about why should I use DEX directly? If you book an airplane ticket, you don't use like Emirates or Lufthansa directly. In most of the cases, you are using the aggregator. You are using Google to aggregate among, like to search for a website. Yeah. And this is why you should use the aggregator because we are more efficient than everyone else out there because we build on top of the existing protocols and just improve the space itself. So we support 7 networks already: Gnosis, Binance Smart Chain, Ethereum, of course, Avalanche, Polygon, Arbitrum, and Optimism. And for sure, we have also own wallets. This is a non-custodian solution. You can download it on the App Store, 1inch DeFi wallet, and you get access to the DeFi directly from your pockets. It's fully secured, multiple times audited from great companies around the globe. And very soon, we will introduce NFT to let you also to buy and sell NFTs directly in the wallet. So there are multiple protocols, how I mentioned at the beginning. We have the aggregation protocol. We aggregate every liquidity out there. We have a limit order protocol where builders can build on top of it. A lot of nice things like auction, also range order similar to Uniswap V3. Liquidity protocol, which is highly efficient liquidity protocol, similar to Uniswap V2, but with front-run protection and dynamic fees. It's something special. And some earning strategies are coming also as well. We have a nice grant program from the 1inch Foundation. So everyone who is building right now, it's very important to get support in the right time. So we know this very well. When we were working with Anton, we were like just 2.5 men, Anton and Michel at part-time. We were like working in the nights, 1.5 years, days over, we had normal jobs. I personally was sleeping like in the office, like for 1 year. And this is like sometimes difficult, and if you get support in the right time, you can grow very fast and build the next unicorn. And apply for the grant on 1inch Foundation and get the support before you have to raise the money from VCs or angels. So you can also join the team. We are 100 people around the globe, and we are looking for more people who improve the network itself and DeFi itself. We are here to improve the DeFi. So we are not like cooking on soup. We are building on top and together with all other partners. We are not competing with anyone. We are innovating the financial system. We are making the financial system more efficient. And all the institutions, banks, they are looking right now into DeFi direction. And very soon we will see also compliant DeFi, I would say, but like permitted DeFi with KYC and AML, which will come, but still we will have DeFi for sure. So if you are looking for a crypto job and would like to join the 1inch network, apply send us your VC, and yeah, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to stay here.
All right, coming up next, we got Elina from Metis DAO, also scaling Ethereum. We like scale. Let's do this. I've got an HDMI cable for you. Here's a dongle. Oh, there's a dongle. Okay.
Should I turn it on? Is it on? Hi everyone, how are you doing today? Ooh. Well, I'm so sad because Stanley beat me to the makeup because I thought I'm the only girl on the stage by now. I have the best one, but no, he did it. Anyway, I love you, Stanley. I came from Canada yesterday. Do you guys know what's happening in Canada? You have no idea, do you? Anyway, so people and businesses are now being stripped of the bank accounts. Their bank accounts are being closed. Their credit cards are being canceled. Their financial services are being refused. Mortgages are canceled because for the people and businesses who disagree with the government policies for COVID restrictions. So this is the world that we live in, and you live just across the border from us. So that's coming here too. The good news is we're going to change it because we're building a new Web3 world. So the Web3 world where no one can tell us what to do and no one can shut us down, prohibit us. So we create the companies, we hire people, we get hired, we pay people without anyone's approval, not the banks, not the government. This is the world that we are building. How we do it? So the very structures that we believe that help us is a DC, decentralized autonomous companies. So think of it as a DAOs, but with a way more advanced tooling. So all we need, blockchain provides us everything, the transparency, the openness. All we need is to build the tools to manage that. And we already started doing that. So it's possible to reward good people for their good work. And it's possible to expose bad actors, scammers, because we can use the reputation engine. And of course, we can build all the tools for doing a business. And there you go. It becomes decentralized. And actually, Web2 companies now craving that. So now they starting realizing, they contacting us. I have the whole integration team that right now working on integrating those. So this is coming up. We already have created basic tooling. You can come create a DEC, decentralized autonomous companies. We have already some that created. But at ETHDenver today, we need, guys, your help to build this tooling with us. So we put a bounty on. Please grab the bounty and help us to build as well. Become our community. We are a community project, and we would want you with us. The tech that we base on is our optimistic rollup, Metis Andromeda. Did you notice the Wi-Fi that you're using? The password and a name? Well, that's what it is. If you know what optimistic rollup is, I hope you know. If you don't know, I'm going to tell you. Many people say that Ethereum cannot be scaled. Well, this is not true. Ethereum is already scaled with the optimistic rollups, with the ZK rollups. But the main thing is to stay decentralized. Otherwise, there's no point of building it. And we are doing that already, and that's why probably our TVL, which is total value locked, jumped to 500 million only 8 weeks after we launched. So we launched in November, it jumped to 500 million because all the projects came pouring down on our Metis Andromeda. We have lots of projects in our ecosystem, but we're truly the community project. We were grown from the community and we're giving back to the community, and we want the whole community with us. So guys, as you build at ETHDenver, keep in mind that we are inviting everyone into our programs. And our programs, beside decentralization, fast transactions, speed, and by the way, you don't need to sacrifice decentralization for the speed and cost, because you can have it all. Plus, you also can, we're giving kickback from every transaction to your smart contract. It means that all gas fees get kicked back to you, which you make a profit on each transaction on Ethereum. And as well, grants from our 100 million fund. And we also have native IDO launch pads that you can launch your project as well, and we can help you. Also, of course, our powerful marketing. We have lots of followers, and you can use it. We make it also easy to build for developers. So first of all, EVM equivalent, it means that there is no need to change your smart contract if you're already on Ethereum. No single line of code should be changed. It takes just a minute to migrate to Metis. So you stay on Ethereum, you be decentralized, but also have cheap and fast transactions as well. And we value the no-code, low-code possibilities for all the new Web2 developers. And Web2 is our market, actually. We provide the no-code, low-code tools, and this is what our polis.metis.io does. So you can actually reuse the smart contracts templates from other developers. And we're building decentralized storage. I'm not going to go into it in detail yet, but it's coming, and we're going to announce it soon. But here today, I would like to emphasize decentralization. We all here in this industry, in all this room, why? Not because of the NFTs or because of the high yields on DeFi or because of the cheap transaction or the fast speed. We're here because of the decentralization. Because if we stay decentralized, no one can tell us what to do. No one can prohibit us what to do. We can stay, and this gives us the ultimate freedom to do whatever we want. So, join us. We would like to welcome you. My name is Elina Cinelnikova. I am a CEO of Metis. I have my team here also, guys. And you're my community, and I love you. Happy hacking.
All right, raise your hand if you've ever used my Ether wallet. Yeah, because we're moving on Kusala from my Ether wallet. Here we go.
Yeah, it works now. Awesome. Hey, how's it going, guys? How's ETHDenver so far? Awesome. Nice. So my name is Kusala Hemachandra. I'm founder and CEO of my Ether wallet. Quick question, by cheers alone. Who's here to build? Yeah? Woo! Nice. Who's here to network? Whoa, even better. And who's here to party? Woo! Nice. It's so, to be honest, it's so great to be here. I've been a huge fan of ETHDenver since the start of ETHDenver. And my new team is here with me today. And I'm excited to be here with so many developers and so many crypto enthusiasts. Actually, back in the day, I also started off as a developer. And even today, now, whenever my staff yells at me every day to stop coding and join meetings. But I'll do my best to postpone all those meetings and get back into coding, because once a dev, always a dev. So as most of you might know, my ETH wallet goes all the way back to the inception of Ethereum. So since then, a lot of fellow crypto fellows calls us actually, we are the OG Ethereum wallet. And then since then, we for the past six years or so, 6+ years actually, we continue to offer the exact same secure, user-friendly, privacy-oriented and non-custodial wallet solution for Ethereum users. And also for the past 6+ years, we continue to innovate, evolve, grow, not just as a company, it actually as the products and services that we offer. So now we have multiple products under Mew umbrella. Mew interface, the most familiar products that we have is myethwallet.com. And we also have Mew Wallet, which is our mobile application. And we have ETHVM.com, which is our blockchain explorer, and Mewtopia, the education wing. And we have those are some of the few products, to name a few. And then we'll be also releasing some cool and exciting products this year. But I'm not actually here to talk about Mew. I'm here for ETHDenver, and we all know ETHDenver is all about community and builders. So, and as a developer myself, I know how awesome these events are to create epic, awesome, badass, new products and introduce them to the space. And that's exactly why we have over $25,000 in bounties for anyone to grab. These bounties mainly focus on myethwallet.com and ETHVM.com. And if you're also into swag, we have a booth on the second floor, and we have a ton of swag to give out. So feel free to stop by, either to grab swag or to talk anything about Ethereum, actually. We'll be more than happy to talk to you about any of that. And actually, if any of you is looking for a job in a leading Ethereum company, we are hiring, and we would love to have you. So just talk to any of us and then say you're looking for a job, and we would love to talk to you about it as well. And actually, my speech is super short. So before I get off the stage, I would love to thank the ETHDenver team for organizing this awesome event together. And I know for a fact we are all going to have so much fun at ETHDenver. So continue to have fun. Thank you so much.
All right, you might have heard this next organization. We got Uniswap Labs. You might have heard of it. We got Sarah from Uniswap Labs. All right, let's do this, Sarah. We like unicorns. Oh, you want this one? That one's also one.
I'll hold it. Yeah.
Okay, make sure you talk into it.
Okay. Yeah, it should just be that one.
No, I know they're not getting it though. I have to do it without.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's fine. All right, hello. My name is Sarah, and I'm an integrations engineer at Uniswap Labs, and super stoked to be here today. We are going to be sponsoring the Impact track, mostly because, we do really believe that Web3 is sort of this next wave of computing. But I think more so than that, we see Web3 as really an opportunity to transform our current financial systems in a more fair and accessible way. And so today I'm going to talk a little bit about, this intersection between Web3 and impact and social good, and a little bit about, what that looks like in projects that you might build. So to kick it off, I think a great question to ask is really why Web3? So what is so special about Web3 that invites us to think about social betterment? And I like to think about this in really three main categories, a lot of which you've probably heard a lot today talked about, but I think it's important to connect it back to this idea of impact. So first and foremost is at the core, we're building on decentralized systems. So, the more decentralization or the more, we make protocols decentralized, the less control one entity has to restrict in, access to groups of people based on social or economic status or age or really kind of any quality of their background. And the key thing to note here is that decentralization really opens up the door to accessibility. The second category here is that Web3 enables true ownership. So ownership means, not really relying on others to carry out actions on your behalf, giving you both that responsibility and freedom in how you operate your assets or really any notion of value that you own. And then lastly is this idea of building in the open. So, community and ecosystem standards for building open source projects have really ensured that systems can be verified by the community and held to, a really high degree, a really high standard. And so all of these three kind of components, the decentralized systems, true ownership, and really building things in the open, really define Web3 as being impact seeking. And I think that's really important because it means it's really easy to make an impactful project by building in Web3. And so to kind of bring it back and talk about how does Uniswap Labs specifically think about impact in this ecosystem, at a high level, we really envision a world where everyone exchanges value through fair, accessible markets on the internet. And I think more, tangibly and something more important than this sort of like high level vision is actually how we build systems every day. So our interfaces, our, ecosystem tools, the very way in which we, designed our Uni airdrop really just shows that we think about accessibility and fairness at all different layers. And that's sort of what I invite you to think about as you kind of build and are designing systems in an impactful way. Greater than just being mission oriented is being values driven. So, I really encourage you to design with equitability, accessibility, and fairness in mind. And think about, yes, let's design a Web3 product whose mission really addresses, problems like climate or inequality, or, maybe they benefit nonprofits or public goods, but also think about how you can build that protocol at every layer in the ecosystem. So at the protocol level, at the interface level, and at the mission level, how are you thinking about fairness and equality and equitability? And so with that, I'll kind of leave you guys really excited to hear from a lot of the projects being built this week and hope to connect with you all later this week.
Thanks so much. Thank you. All right, next up, we got Barney from Vega. Barney, come on down. Let's do this. Everyone give Barney a round of applause. Do you need the dongle? Okay, cool. I can't. Oh, no. Okay, cool. Here you go.
This fancy new ones.
Fancy.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, Denver. I'm Barney. I'm one of the co-founders of Vega Protocol. I'm here to tell you just a little bit about the protocol and what we're doing here at ETHDenver. So just a little bit on me. I have been in crypto in some form or other since about 2013. Got involved mostly on the side. Got into the Ethereum pre-sale actually, so have been around the Ethereum world for a little while. But my real aha moment with crypto was when working in the city in London, sort of watching how things were after the financial crisis, watching how the internet didn't change the city and didn't change finance in the same way that it changed everything else because of the gatekeepers, because of the way that the world of finance works and is closed off to everyone. And that just made me think this is unfair and it's bad. And alongside things like Ethereum and DeFi and everything else coming on, we saw the opportunity to do something. Vega is designed to be a decentralized derivatives DEX, and it differentiates itself by being its own L1 as well. And the reason for doing that is when we looked into how to do derivatives in a really, really high quality way, how to build derivatives that could eventually actually take on the same use cases as derivatives in the centralized world, we realized that general purpose blockchains, especially ones like Ethereum, which work the way they do, are not super suited to that. But we also see the value of the Ethereum ecosystem. And so what we decided to do was to build what would now be called, I guess, kind of an L2 or a scaling layer, optimized for derivatives, optimized for running financial products, for running risk, for running margins, and then to integrate that with bridges to chains like Ethereum so that you can trade your Ethereum assets with leverage, with margin, and with safety and risk management on the Vega chain. So we started that project in 2018. We wrote the white paper. We hired an amazing team of engineers, researchers, community builders. We've been building fairly quietly at times since then, but in the last year or so, we've really ramped up in terms of the community side of things. We've launched our mainnet in a restricted form, which allows the validators to sort of start testing the network and get things going. And then trading will launch on the network in probably the next sort of 2 to 4 months, depending how the testing of the last sort of updates and features goes. So just to wind back a little bit, just to wind back a little bit and talk about some of the opportunities of why Vega, why are we building this? What was it that we saw was so broken? Firstly, there's just this macro opportunity for decentralization. We see the ability to decentralize finance, the ability to take things out of the hands of the gatekeepers and to create our own sort of destiny and future and to allow for permissionless innovation. That's super important, but it requires a fully working sort of financial system backing it up. If we build decentralized assets, but the way to get on and off and the way to do certain things requires centralized control, we end up back where we started with the same gatekeepers and with the same people controlling what we do. So we need to have this kind of complete sort of set of innovations and set of financial protocols in order to achieve what we want with decentralization. We saw that derivatives were a big part of that, and that's something with my background in the city we could help with. We think that needs to be unstoppable. It needs to be something anyone can be part of. It needs to be permissionless to innovate. And it needs to unlock the benefits of global access and global innovation. And we think that the freedom to innovate in finance, the freedom to innovate with funding, the freedom to innovate with our projects will seep down to the freedom to create new protocols and to make everything better overall. So we see this sort of as all part of the bigger mission, and this is kind of what we can do to help. So now onto Vega's specific solution. The first thing that I was really, really keen to do was to say Vega needs to be as good as CeFi. I worked with CeFi. I saw people trading crypto on exchanges like BitMEX. And what I realized was that if you build a trading protocol that has zero leverage or is over-collateralized compared to BitMEX with 100x leverage, you won't attract the trading and you won't fulfill those use cases. You'll be creating toys. And so when we designed Vega, we said we need to make sure we can be as good as the CeFi stuff we're trying to replace so that the people who aren't as passionate about it as us will still want to build here. We also said we want to make it better than traditional finance. We want to open up to innovation and products and markets that traditional finance can't touch, whether that's using AMMs to allow small markets to be created without having to find liquidity providers, whether it's making it easy for anyone to create a new product, or whether it's having global access and liquidity, making tighter spreads and better prices. We want to be better than TradFi, not just copying what they're doing and trying to keep up. And finally, we wanted to make sure that Vega was not just a sort of standalone thing that sits on its own, but we want to make it part of the future of DeFi. We think that for DeFi to be successful, for Ethereum to be successful, for all of us to be successful, there's a whole ecosystem of stuff going on, whether it's the different Oracle providers, whether it's the spot exchange protocols, whether it's AMMs. All of these things working together is way more powerful than the sum of the whole, sum of the parts. And having that whole work together and having Vega plugged in, providing scaling, providing capital efficient derivatives as part of that ecosystem is going to be way stronger I could name names of protocols that sort of claim to be decentralized and DEXs, but they decide what markets get created. Cool, but where does the community come in? Why doesn't the community get to create markets too? That's what we want to see. That's what we think is going to be the most powerful, and that's why we're here. To give you a little bit more detail on Vega itself, for those who haven't heard of us, Vega is part of the kind of Ethereum and DeFi ecosystem. Vega is a proof of stake chain. It's optimized for derivatives. It effectively runs a lot of the calculations and the risk and the market making models, the liquidity models, the order books. It runs those compiled at native speed, which gives you a huge speed up and a huge performance boost compared to doing something like an EVM. It also means we can do things like have fees based on the size of your trade rather than gas, because everything's a trade. We don't need gas. We can actually have fees that are similar to an exchange, which makes fees more predictable. We have permissionless market creation. Anyone in the community can come. They can define an oracle. They can create a market. They can provide liquidity, and they can make money if that market's successful. So really owned by the community. We have high capital efficiency. By doing those things, by having efficient margin calculations, we're able to offer leverage that's similar to the centralized exchanges, rather than requiring things to be multiple times over collateralized. We have a protocol called Wendy, which we developed in-house with our blockchain researcher, Klaus, which is designed to prevent MEV and front running by providing guaranteed fairness under the same assumptions that you make with the validators on a proof of stake network. And finally, no gas, predictable trading fees. I already said that one. On the Ethereum side, Vega is an ERC20. When I said we're all in on the ecosystem, we're all in on bridges, so all in on that Vega is an ERC20. We don't have native tokens. You use Vega with the bridge. The first bridge is Ethereum. We will build others. The other cool thing about having the ERC20 is your stake tokens are secured by Ethereum. If you stake tokens on our proof of stake network, even if someone takes over the network, part of the staking happens on the Ethereum blockchain. They cannot steal your tokens. They can take over the network temporarily. You can remove your tokens from staking to them, and you can stake to someone else and restore the network. Super great. We're a tiny chain. We're new. We need to import some of that security from Ethereum. The bridge allows trading directly. You send your ERC20s to the bridge. It's like depositing to an exchange, and you can get trading. Connect MetaMask up, send your tokens, trade, withdraw them when you're done. And finally, MetaMask and other popular wallets. So, why are we here, and where are we, and what's going on? Towards the end of last year, we had hit an important milestone with Vega with the launch of the network. We launched in what we're calling restricted mainnet, which is to say we had community-selected validators running nodes, producing blocks, running the governance protocol. But we actually have switched off in the protocol any form of trading. The bridge is there. You can send tokens to the bridge. That all works, but the trading's switched off. Why would we do that? Security. We want to make sure everything is live and working. We want to make sure we find out the kinks before we ask people to start putting tokens and funds into the bridge. That's progressing. We're working on some fixes and improvements, particularly around upgrades to nodes. So when you upgrade a node, you can have a node offline for a little bit of time. If too many nodes are upgrading and offline, that can be a risk. So we're automating the upgrade process to resolve that risk. A few other little changes going in. Those should be finished in the next few months. By the end of Q1, sometime in Q2, that means trading will launch on the Vega network. So we're here with our community, with our team, building together the teams and communities that are going to create the first markets on Vega and get stuck in. Right now, you can stake and delegate and do governance. You can participate in our incentivized testnet called Fairground. It's a great place to try out Vega, see how it works, get to know it. Also a great place to earn tokens for helping us test the network. You can create markets on testnet. You can learn how to supply liquidity. You can build bots, and you can get ready. You can contribute to open source. We're all on GitHub. You can build decentralized bots and apps and trading clients. You can earn rewards and participate in bounties. And sneak preview, I'm going to announce this a little bit more in a couple of seconds, but we're launching this week a thing called the Vega Plus Ambassador Program, and that program is going to allow you to get more involved and become the backbone of the community. At ETHDenver, we have a number of bounty challenges. I'm not going to read them through here. You can see them on the slide. We have $30K worth of prizes available for the challenges at ETHDenver bounties. If you're a builder, if you're doing stuff, come and talk to the team about it, get stuck in, get involved, and get those bounties. And the final thing, We're launching this Vega Ambassador program. Ambassadors are going to be the backbone of our community. These are going to be the community members who get access to the team, who we talk to day in, day out, who we get the best swag. For some of you in the yellow t-shirts have already found the swag. But yeah, ambassadors really will be what make the community sort of hum. Help us decentralize the project, help us give out some of the roles that the team do to the community, and help us chart the course of Vega and work out how to change Vega and improve it over time. We're going to have 3 teams initially in the ambassadors. We're going to have the Content Collective, the Builders Club, and the Multilingual League. These teams will be working on translating things, building on Vega, creating content, and getting the word out. Listen out for the announcements tomorrow on that. It'll be press releases and everything. If you're interested to get involved, come and talk to the team. Happy to talk you through some of it. And with that, I'm coming to an end here. So thank you all for listening. Really excited to be here at ETHDenver. Come and see us at Stand P20. We've got loads of really super cool swag. And looking forward to chatting to more of you over the course of the weekend.
All right, thank you, Vega Protocol. Next up, we got William. William from Octopus Network. William, come on down. All right.
Good afternoon, ETHDenver. How are you guys doing today? Awesome. Awesome. So my name is William. I am head of partnerships at Octopus Networks. And what we are is we are a multi-chain, interoperable, substrate-based crypto network that allows you to build app chains, application-specific blockchains through the use of the NEAR protocol. And I'm really excited about Octopus and what NEAR can do and what it has done for me and what it can do for you guys. So a lot of you guys know in the room what a dApp is. But if you guys can clap your hands if you know what an app chain is. Does anyone know what an app chain is? Okay, no, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So let me just tell you a brief high-level overall view of what an app chain is and how it's a little bit different from a dApp. So a decentralized application on your public chain is a decentralized application like a dApp puts your transactions out on a public chain. Whereas if you do substrate-based programming and you get your own application-specific chain and dApp as an app chain, then you will be able to have your own dedicated blockchain technology network to your app. And that's what we do with because of NEAR's proof of stake and its sharding network, we're able to build out unlimited app chains on each one of its shards. This is more robust for your company. This is enterprise level security. And this also allows for a much higher throughput and TPS. I am so excited to be in the partnerships of Octopus Network because we are announcing that we're going to be supporting all our new app chains with double the amount of funding that we do for the next 5 app chains that launch on Octopus Network. So instead of giving $100,000 to our sponsored app chains, we'll be giving $200,000 to our app chains. And I'm also super, super excited because I come from game development and I love video games. Octopus is now going to be launching the Game Chain. And Game Chain is going to be allowing people who have different types of metaverses and massive amounts of users who want to be able to interact with each other and have everything on transacted and on chain. We'll be able to do that through the Octopus Relay Network and then also gain all the benefits of DeFi from the NEAR protocol DeFi ecosystem. And we're really excited about having NEAR protocol be the GameFi part and Octopus Network be the game chain part. So we're super pumped about helping Web3 grow. And if you are thinking about building a dApp, but you want something a little more robust, you want to be able to scale much more and maybe even empower other entities and other ecosystems to come build on your applications, consider building an app chain. And if you are, consider building with Octopus on NEAR Networks. Thank you for your time, everyone. Happy hacking. Appreciate y'all.
Boop, boop, boop. All right, here we go. Oh, we got up next. We got Harish from Covalent. And then what is up with this laptop? Laptop standard going. Oh, laptop's going. Okay, Harish from Covalent. Let's do this.
1 second here.
Sorry, guys, just 1 second. Come on. No, they're just trying to see what's going on here. There we go. It's mirrored now.
Okay.
Okay, sorry about that. All right. Good evening, everyone. It is so good to be here at ETHDenver. Who's here for the first time? Awesome. This is our first time from Covalent for many of us here at Covalent. My name is Harish. I am the head of developer relations at Covalent. And for us, ETHDenver has actually got a very special place in our heart because after the first prototype of the product, which was built in late 2017, the two co-founders, Ganesh Swami and Levi All, worked through the bear market. And it was here in ETHDenver 2020 that they actually closed their first set of deals with consensus and scale. And we actually haven't looked back since then. Last year, we grew from 5 employees to 50, with a quarter of those being women. Let's hear that. Woo! We're headquartered in beautiful Vancouver, Canada. And clearly, we share a lot with Denver. I think it might be something in the air, but it's hard to tell. But we love it. We love being here. It's home for us. And so, we're really excited to be here for the very first time for many of us at ETHDenver 2022. At Covalent, our motto is one API, one unified API, 1 billion possibilities. And so what this means is that we want everyone to have frictionless and free access to on-chain data, which you can do from 28 supported blockchains, which now includes Solana, where Web3 builders can build absolutely anything that their imagination takes them. So whether it is NFT marketplaces, galleries in the metaverse, building DEX and DAO analytics tools, being able to build block explorers or fintech tools and calculators, even their own customized wallet, very easy to do with our unified API. It's actually why Covalent is trusted by a community of nearly 20,000 developers who are building with us in over 500 applications, which include Xerex, Xerion, and many, many others. Covalent's also progressively decentralizing, and we need to do this in order to be able to scale effectively and become that public good which provides granular historical Web3 data for everyone. Just last month, we announced a spec for standardizing data provenance for Web3 data. We have our network launch actually coming out later this year. And we're going to be offering single-sided staking for all our CQT token holders. And so, of course, we continue to ramp up and support our existing blockchain partners, our new partners who are going to be part of this decentralized network. Now, these are major milestones for our company, and we are super excited to see where this company is going this year. Now, on a final note, and this might be helpful for projects that might have been in the same place that we were back in 2020, a lot of folks had actually written us off and said that we were going to fail. And it would have been very easy for Ganesh and Levi to simply drop the project back at ETHDenver 2020. This is a relentlessly fast-paced and challenging environment, which you all know, and success is far from guaranteed. But if you keep at it and forget the naysayers and have that passion and drive, anything is possible. And I really hope that we at Covalent serve as a testament for what's possible in the Web3 space. So good luck with your builds. Come talk to us. We're up on the second floor, and happy hacking. Thank you so much. All right, all right. Next up, we got Ryan from API Not 1, API Not 2, but API 3. Ryan from API 3, let's do this.
We do. I'm not doing this alone. Hi, I'm Ryan from API3. We're proud to be here with you at ETHDenver 2022. I want to introduce a couple of amazing people here. We have Barak Ben-Ligrai, CTO and co-founder of API3, and Sean Douglas, CEO and co-founder of Amber Data. So if you've been following API3, you already know that AirNode is a first-party oracle that empowers data providers to put their data directly on-chain without going through a third-party middleman. You already know the numerous benefits of first-party oracles, such as efficiency, scalability, and the one that's, of course, most important is transparency. And you already know that Amber Data, a proven provider of enterprise-grade crypto data, is launching first-party oracles, API3-powered first-party oracles called beacons, and that they've made 25 of those first-party data feeds available for you to use here at the Bidlathon this week in your projects. So you already know those things, but what you don't know until now is that usage of Amber Data beacons, in fact, usage of any API3 beacons is risk protected by the API3 DAO. And what that means is that if your application suffers a loss because of a problem with a beacon, the API3 DAO will cover it. So there's no risk to you. That's a pretty big deal. So it's also a big deal for the API3 token, because not only does this risk protection service increase the utility of the API3 token, it actually represents the first live burning mechanism for the token. So that's also really exciting, and this is a big week for us here at API3. With that, I'm going to hand it over to Sean to say a few words on behalf of Amber Data. Thanks.
Thank you. So Amber Data is incredibly excited to be a part of this and working with API3. I mean, we've been doing institutional grade data infrastructure for financial markets and on-chain data, and to work with you guys and help bring transparency and high quality, high fidelity data and help power and grow DeFi is an incredible opportunity. So thank you.
So yeah, I wanted to say a few words about the coverage mechanism. So I think in a few years you will see that pretty much all of the Oracle services out there will find out that they will have to cover the losses of their users. So we'll have to provide this as a service, and then you can consider us as the first movers. And then this essentially has two advantages. One, it provides quantifiable security, which doesn't exist at the moment in the Oracle space. Like, you're told to trust a data feed, but then it is not clear up to what value you can trust it with. And then the second thing is, it is very comprehensive as a security mechanism in that it would essentially cover anything that would go wrong with the service, like as it is essentially defined in the coverage policy. And then this also means that as the Oracle service provider, now that you have a lot of skin in the game, you have to make sure that, one, you need to use first-party oracles. Now you can no longer trust middlemen because you are risking a lot. And then also you have to work with the best data providers, which is what we are trying to do with Amber Data here. So we are very excited about all this. And then any developers, I welcome you to our documentations. AirNode is pretty great as an Oracle node. Beacons are pretty great. So Google API3, go to docs, and then, yeah, build away. So let's keep this short and sweet. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we got Jack O'Halloran from Scale, who's been at ETHDenver, I think, every single time I have. So, Jack, let's do it. Oh, you want this one or that one? Cool.
Okay, they've got your computer.
Okay.
You can get it going.
All right.
I've got to swap. Is it up here? I can't see it. It's too. Do you know how to swap the?
Swap display.
Yeah. You know, I think it's in power. Oh, okay. You know what? I think if I can move this here. Do you want to grab yours? Okay, got it. We're good. All right. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Let's get this going. Who's having fun? Woo! All right, who's hacking? Get some builders. Get some builders here. All right. I know there's some people watching live too. So, all right. And hey, it's getting later, but the energy is growing. So let's keep it rolling. All right. So hey, Scale has $25,000 worth of bounties this year. We'll have 15. Yeah. Hey. We'll have 15 different winners. We're pumped to be here. This is our 4th ETHDenver. We love being here. This is one of the funnest events in the world. Okay, so by the way, we're giving away a $5,000 NFT at the end of the presentation. Get ready for that. And 5,000 in the sense that we're donating 5,000 to your favorite charity. Just need a phone, an iOS phone. Okay, so Scale's built to power NFTs, Web3, metaverse products, gaming, and DeFi. So there's 0 gas fees in the Scale network. By building in Scale, you can connect to a very powerful DeFi ecosystem. You can mint NFTs at 0 cost on chain, or 0 cost on chain to end users, and you can actually store files on chain. So we'll show you in a minute what that looks like. I get this question a lot. What is Scale? Scale layer 1? Is it a layer 2? Is it a layer 1.5? So most layer 1s are actually completely separate networks. And so if we look at Scale and Ethereum, Scale doesn't just connect by a bridge to Ethereum. Scale is actually built on Ethereum. So Scale can't function without Ethereum. So the Ethereum network runs slashing, staking, delegation, token transfers, node orchestration, administration, and orchestration. So Ethereum drives the Scale network and secures the Scale network in many, many ways. So is it a layer 1, layer 2? I don't know. We'll leave that up for the debate, but it's Ethereum native, meaning it's not just interoperable, but connected to Ethereum. It's multi-chain, it's high performance, and it's a blockchain network. So digging a little deeper here, the Scale network, as I said, Ethereum helps orchestrate nodes. So there are many, many chains that can be built in an autonomous way in the Scale network. And the Ethereum network actually helps manage the collusion resistance by making sure there's secure entropy for node assignments. It helps rotate those nodes to make sure that there's collusion resistance so that there's pool security across all the chains in the Scale network. There's also really strong incentives in the sense of slashing and validator rewards and delegator rewards to incentivize good behavior. Okay, so Scale's a network of many, many blockchains. Not just one blockchain, it's also not capacity constrained. And so when you think about many, many EVM blockchains, there's already 6 today. We're planning on having around 30 in the next month and a half after the V2 release, all right? So that could be really challenging from a user experience perspective. Scale V2 actually integrates a chain-to-chain hop. So you can actually move assets from, let's say you're playing a P2E game and you want to go to an exchange hub and swap out that asset. And then you want to go buy an NFT, go to a metaverse and earn NFTs. And then you want to go to an NFT marketplace and sell those. You can go from chain to chain in about 60 seconds and 0 fees within the Scale network. So you don't have capacity constraints and you also have a cohesive environment between chains. Okay, so there's also 0 cost minting for NFTs. And images can be stored in containers on the Scale chain, not in an AWS server or in an IPFS server somewhere, okay? All right, so you wanna see what this looks like? We're gonna, okay, $5,000 to charity. There's an unlimited quantity that can be produced here. So if you have an iOS phone, if you have an Apple phone, please get it out. Who likes charities? Who likes donating to charities? Okay, we've got a few people out there. All right, if you have an iOS device, you'll be able to hit the QR code. 1 out of the first 100 minted will win the golden ticket. This, by the way, our friends at Ivy, they're one of our favorite partners, have built this phenomenal product that takes advantage of the gasless nature of Scale and the speed of the Scale blockchain. And they've built a phenomenal product that lets any user instantly mint an NFT. It's not that, yeah, woo, Scott. All right, so let's do this. We're gonna see Ivy, and by the way, if you're interested, Ivy's growing. They're amazing. Jobs, wizards at Ivy Cash, if you're interested in working there. All right, go for it. Give you a little more time. Those of you watching somewhere else, please do this as well. I will be walking around with this QR code if you had an issue. Later we can do it. I'm gonna give about 10 more seconds here, and we're gonna close up because it's getting late. All right, there we go. NFTs minted through a QR code, real time, no tokens needed. You don't need Scale tokens. It's literally all happening in a gasless nature on the Scale network. Okay, hey, come see us at the Scale booth. We'll be over in the Miras building. We're sponsoring the scalability track, which we obviously care about. You can go to the Scale Discord, scale.chat, or follow us on Twitter. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Awesome. Thank you, Jack. Next up, we got Richard from QuantStamp. And QuantStamp is like the reason why half of DeFi doesn't fall apart. And he's going to tell you all about it. Thank you, Richard.
Hello, hello. Get this. Oh. How's the? Oh, okay. Okay, well, I guess while they're pulling up. So I'm Richard Ma, CEO of QuantStamp. Okay, so, oh, nice. We're like a leading security auditing company. Our mission is to secure the future of Web3. So we've basically been at ETHDenver since it started, every single year. Every year we kind of like try to hack and have a lot of fun. It's definitely one of the best events of the year for hackers. So this is like some of our team like hacking, and this was my Chindogu talk, I think like 3 years ago. But it's really like a great place to gather everyone to build. So super excited about it to come here again. So one of the biggest trends from last year was actually like the rise of NFTs. I think like few people could have predicted it, but last year we had this kind of like moment when Beeple, they had this $69 million auction, and it kind of kicked off a lot of the NFT activity. And we had like a small part to play in it because we helped to secure the fractionalized Beeple, like the digital museum that preceded this. So we're pretty happy about like how it all turned out because it kicked off a lot of like activities for artists and creators to be able to make a living, last few years. So, and the NFT market, it's actually boomed enough now that it's almost approaching the fine art market, which is only $50 billion a year. So these are some like really cool kind of stuff that we've been following. And in the last year, we actually started the NFT team at QuantStamp to do a lot of research on it and to also help a lot of teams. And it's pretty cool because I think while like people are starting the metaverse trend to build decentralized metaverses, builders here, they're kind of building the next generation of places that people can gather and like meet up in the virtual world and in a decentralized way so that people can, kind of own their own different metaverses. So this is a really cool development. And obviously, for all these metaverses, for your digital selves in the future, security is going to be an important part of that because, if you're going to kind of put yourself out there and invest in your digital identity, you want to make sure that it's safe. So one of our major focus this year is to try to secure the metaverse. And we've already worked with a lot of great companies, including OpenSea and Super Rare and like NBA Top Shots and Yield Guild and a lot of cool games. And we really believe that it's very, very early for NFTs and for gaming. So if you're going to build a cool game out there, definitely let us know. I'm actually going to be hacking this weekend at ETHDenver and trying to build my own game. So just hit me up. And we're looking for a designer for my hacker team. So if you're a designer, just hit me up. Apart from that, we also work on really challenging projects in layer 2s and in DeFi. So we actually audited 2 of the 4 ETH 2.0 clients, as well as like many leading projects like Compound and MakerDAO and many layer 2s. And this is actually our engineer, Jake, who's doing an audit during one of our retreats. So QuantStamp is like a remote first company. We've been remote first for like 3 years. So what we do is every quarter we like meet up in a place in the world, fly everyone there and like hang out for 10 days. This is like some of our pictures from our recent retreat. We actually went to Dubai in January. And it's like a great place to just meet up. And we're actually hiring right now. So QuantStamp is basically doubling in size this year. So if you're a smart contract developer or like a web developer or working in business development or operations, I'm going to have a QR code here to like, if you want to like talk more. Yeah, so we're hiring. We're sponsoring the top floor at the Mirrors Art Gallery. And we also have a booth on the 2nd floor, so come see us. And yeah, that's the QR code, and it's 1997. That's our model. 3 years ago, we wrote it's 1994, but it's still very early. So I'm pretty excited about what everyone's going to build here, and looking forward to participating. Thanks so much.
All right, thank you, Richard. And once again, QuantStamp keeps all you guys safe. That's why we like them. Next up, we got Sam from Superfluid. Superfluid does streaming payments. It's like the OG use case for crypto. Let's all hear about it for Sam.
All right. Well, thank you guys for being here. I am Sam. I'm part of the developer experience team at Superfluid. Superfluid is a protocol for digital native programmable cash flows. And we allow you to stream money in real time with no capital lockups in a way that's all programmable and on-chain. So what is money streaming? Well, we think money streaming is a new primitive more broadly in Web3. And what I like to compare this to is the idea of a discrete transaction versus a recurring payment, right? We come to finance with this idea that every transaction needs to be a discrete lump sum transaction. But in a lot of cases, you want to send payments over and over again on a regular basis. So why can't you just send that value in real time, right? In the services business, right? If you have a recurring payment or if you're just paying a services employee to provide a service for you, they're providing the value in real time to you. So why shouldn't you be providing value back to them with a payment stream that pays them on a per second basis, right? And what this does is it creates this cool link between the value transfer and the service provision. And it allows you to embed these payment terms in digital services in a way that's all on-chain, verifiable in a way that has no delays, no unpayment risk, and no intermediaries because it's all on-chain. So what's cool about this is it allows you to have this concept of a balance that can constantly tick up and down in real time, right? We allow you to send money per second instead of in these lump sum transactions. And one thing we often get in terms of questions, especially from developers and people curious about how this all is working, is like, what is going on under the hood that makes this possible, right? I've been at the booth all day. Like, people are like, okay, this is really cool. You're sending me money per second. How the heck is this working? So I'll give you a brief overview that hopefully can give you some context, right? So one of the key tenets of the protocol is this concept of a super token. So a super token is it's compatible with the ERC20 token standard and the ERC77 compatible, ERC777 standard. It's plugged directly in to the Superfluid protocol, and it's usable anywhere in Web3 more broadly. Now, we have some native super tokens, right, that have been deployed inside of our ecosystem where 100% of the supply is streamable. But we also have, because in DeFi, interoperability is so important, we have a wrapper contract where you can wrap any ERC20 asset or any native asset and use that as a super token as well. And then the second key piece of the protocol is this concept of agreements. So agreements within the protocol for money streaming allow you to specify when you want to create a stream, who the recipient is, what token you want to use, and what the flow rate is. And that flow rate bit is one of the most important parts, right? Where that's where you define how many tokens you want to send per second to the recipient, right? And what's cool about this is these are open-ended, they're perpetual, right? They stay open until you change them. They require a single transaction to open, and the value will still flow without having to make a new transaction every second. And it's built directly into the token balance. So on that super token contract, there is a function called real-time balance, which just takes into consideration what your flow rate is, how many tokens are you sending or receiving per second. And then we use the internal clock in the blockchain, the block.timestamp value, to figure out how many tokens have been sent to you in real time, right? Which gets us back to this really cool concept of the real-time balance, right? You can receive and send money in real time. And you can think about what happens when you send money to me and I send money to somebody else and they send money to somebody else and then so on and so forth. You get this really cool network of cash flows, right? This concept of network cash flows is something we think a lot about. We're very excited about. And there are lots of protocols that are building on top of Superfluid that are making this come to life. So for this event, we're very excited to be sponsoring. We want to thank the ETHDenver team for putting this together. This is my first ETHDenver, and I'm having a very good time so far. As you can tell by my raspy voice, I'm already losing my voice. And if you're a hacker, this weekend we have $25,000 in total in bounties. We'd love for you to build. I will be upstairs at our booth all weekend running around helping hackers, so you're welcome to come reach out to me. And yeah, we hope you come build with us. Thank you, guys.
All right, next up, we got Fernando Martinelli of Balancer. It's like an AMM on steroids. Let's hear all about it for Fernando. So yeah, you're gonna plug that in. Take a second, it'll show up there. Cool.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. So I'm Fernando from Balancer. It's great to be here after 2 years. ETHDenver 2020, we were only 3 people, hadn't launched yet. A lot happened. And yeah, it's great to see how much the space has evolved. I think we all share here a purpose of trying to make the world a better place by using Ethereum. And in DeFi, we have to fight to make finance more accessible, more inclusive, and more transparent. This is not going to be an easy battle. You all know that. But we have to fight together. We have to divide to conquer. We have to focus on different problems, make sure the solutions we come up for them are composable, and then we'll win. Balancer's role in all of this is to be the platform for programmable liquidity. We want you to build the next generation AMMs or the next generation programmable liquidity solutions. Let me get into more detail to explain what this means. Going back in time, Balancer V1 launched in June 2020. What Balancer V1 is, is an AMM that allows you to create pools of up to 8 tokens, any arbitrary weights, any swap fees you want. Seen very interesting projects using Balancer V1, like Yearn. They launched the YFI token using a 98-2 pool. Aave and other projects use an 80-20 pool that allows you to have to be bullish on the 80-20 on the 80 token and still provide liquidity and not have a lot of impermanent loss. But it's like clear that there's no one solution fits all in AMM. Like you need to have specific AMM functions invariants to solve for different problems. You see how Curve did it so well with stablecoins. So we figured we create a platform for AMMs, which is Balancer V2. So instead of trying to find solutions for AMM problems, we want to make it easy for you to come up with solutions and launch your own AMM. This is what's Balancer V2 about. But it's not only AMMs that we're helping people build, it's programmable liquidity. What's programmable liquidity? If you have a protocol or a smart contract that has 2 tokens or more, and you need them to rebalance, you need them to have more exposure, or just to swap between the tokens, that's programmable liquidity. You should be considering using Balancer if you have some sort of programmable liquidity. I'm far away. Can I have it here on this side? So I'll just run back and forth. So how do we do it? We got it here. So Balancer V2 separates the management and accounting of tokens at the vault level from the logic of the AMM. So instead of having like everything in one smart contract like Uniswap, Balancer V1, all AMMs have, Balancer V2 has a vault that is very efficient at handling tokens. And you just have to worry about the logic of your AMM. So when you do an arbitrage, usually you send lots of tokens all around. You call lots of smart contracts. With Balancer V2, you just call the vault, and it takes care of the rest. You just get the profit you have from the arbitrage. You might be asking me, like, how much of a difference it really makes, right, in terms of gas and efficiency. It makes a lot of difference. The usual arbitrage, selling token A for B, B for C, C for A, which gives you more A, so you get some A back. You can't read, right? But it's 600,000 gas. With Balancer V2, it's much more elegant. You just get the profit from the vault, and it costs 146K. So it's more than 4 times cheaper. So that's the idea. Like, you just work on what adds most value, which is the AMM logic, your innovation, and we take care of the boring stuff, the low-level stuff. We spend a lot of time working on security, like maybe $1 million in audits. We have one of the biggest bounties, 1,000 ETH. So if you're a white hacker, take a look at that, 1,000 ETH. We have worked a lot to make all the optimizations possible. So gas costs in V2 are really, really low. So as I said, we do all the low-level stuff, and you only have to care about the logic. So if you're still not convinced, you should use Balancer V2 to build your programmable liquidity solution. Let me tell you this, if you were to create your standalone solution, it wouldn't be used by like traders, by keepers. You would have to ask them to integrate that, and that takes a lot of time and effort. And Balancer gives you that out of the gate. So if you use Balancer, you have access to our SOR Smart Auto Router. And then you also have fast track to all main aggregators, which we know and have a close connection to, have an interface with them. So if you build on Balancer, you get all of that out of the box. And there's lots of network effects as well of other projects building on Balancer. Now the fun part. I like to say that Balancer's success is the success of the teams and projects that are being built on top of Balancer. Who are these guys? Element Phi, they're going to talk here also in a minute. These guys are awesome, Will and team. They're building a fixed rate interest protocol. And that AMM is for tokens that expire after some time. So that's a good example of a type of AMM that has to be special for it to work and to be optimal. Tempus and Sense as well in the fixed rate space. Stablecoins, Fate Protocol, also programmable liquidity. They control the exposure to risky assets based on how much collateralization ratio they have on top of their PCV, protocol control level. So if there are too collateralized, automatically they change value from stablecoins to risky assets. If they have a low collateralization ratio, then they actually sell from risky assets to stablecoins using Balancer. Gyroscope Finance. These guys are gigabrains. When they launch, you're going to be mind blown. They're doing some serious math, like innovation on top of Balancer V2. Very excited, launching soon. Copper, they use our LBPs for token generation events. They just launched late last year. They have more than 50,000 unique ETH addresses already participating in token events. PrimeDAO as well. Index products that are smart and change tokens automatically. Indexed finance, Power Pool protocol. CowSwap, one of my favorites. They use the Balancer's Vault to have cheap settlement. Aave, you all know Aave. They use 80-20 Balancer pools to make sure that you can stake and still provide liquidity and be bullish on Aave. And so much more. Now, just the last teaser, we just approved, our governance approved the new tokenomics where you have to lock BAO to be able to vote, the well-known VE system. The BAO wars are starting. So if you're a project and you want to direct where liquidity mining goes, pay attention to that. Yeah, and thank you for listening. Let's chat. We're here these 3 days and giving $50K of grants. Thank you so much, guys. See you around.
Fun fact about Balancer, me and Ryan, we tokenized these shirts and tried to sell them on Uniswap, but because of the Uniswap's price curve just went like vertical way too fast, we had to use Balancer to slope out the curve, and it worked. Yeah, and there's that. Thanks, Fernando. All right, next up, we got Ava Balin from The Graph, and The Graph decentralizes data, so we like that. Ava, come on down, let's do this. Do you want to stay still or do you want to walk around?
Okay. Hello. My name is Eva Balin, director of the Graph Foundation. Who here knows what the Graph is? Woo! So the Graph is a network for indexing data, decentralized network, and we do so via subgraphs, which are open and permissionless APIs. That means anybody can build one, anyone can use one, anyone can fork one. Why do you need to hack on the Graph? First of all, it saves you time. So if you are building on top of a protocol that already exists, very likely already someone has built a subgraph. So whether that's ENS, Uniswap, name your protocol, it will save you much more time to build on a subgraph than building your own indexing solution. Building open source. All APIs on the Graph are open source, meaning you can use other subgraphs built by other developers. You can also fork them. So if you want to build, an application that's a little more unique than the original protocol, you can do so in a permissionless way. Collaboration. Again, because subgraphs are open source, anyone can build on top of each other's work. So this means that people save time on redundant building. They also save costs, and we enable, teams to actually work together. Any protocol. So like I said, subgraphs can be used for any smart contracts deployed on Ethereum or any layer 2. We also now support Near on our hosted service and have many more chains coming soon. But if you're hacking on Ethereum or any layer 2, there is a subgraph for you. And lastly, it's the easiest way to query a blockchain. So querying blockchain data is hard. You have to understand the node. Sometimes you even have to run the proprietary indexing code. Subgraphs make it really easy. So you only have to define your schema or just even query an existing API. And there you go. All the data that you need in a dApp or a front end, you can get from the graph. So I wanted to share a few testimonials just from other developers. Read this one. The UI is now a lot faster thanks to using the graph for the main queries. Can't believe how easy it is to use a subgraph. So like I said, it makes it way easier to build than you building your own API. The graph is a gateway drug to full stack development. Amen. My favorite technology right now is the graph. And who is having that light bulb moment hacking on Graph Protocol at ETHDenver? If you're looking to use an existing API, so that would be a subgraph that's already built by someone in the community, often the actual native dApp themselves. We have so many available, and over 30,000 developers have built subgraphs over the last several years. So if you head to our Explorer, thegraph.com/explorer, you can see all the subgraphs. You can also play around with the subgraphs, so you can go into our playground, see what kinds of queries that subgraph enables, and test it out before you start integrating. Also, if you see a subgraph you like, but it's not quite what you need, you can fork it and create your own entities or functions and make the app that you need. Wanted to announce we're really excited to sponsor $25,000 worth of bounties. This is online and in person. So if you're using an existing subgraph, that would be something already built, like an ENS or a Uniswap. We've got a few prizes for you here. But most importantly is building new subgraphs, because when you build a new subgraph, you enable more developers to interact with your protocol or your dApp, maybe even get more creative in the kind of data we'll see in applications. So if you're willing and able to build a subgraph this weekend, please do so. The first prize is for $5,000. And again, this will be online and in person. Online hacking will end on Sunday. In-person hacking will end on Sunday. Online hacking will end March 24th. Safe hacking. And please come by our booth on layer 2 if you'd like more info.
All right, the graph makes life easy. That's why we like it. Next up, we got Stacy from Algorand. Stacy, come on down.
How you guys all doing tonight? Yeah. Stacey, are you gonna walk around?
I walk around, but I can walk around.
Okay. I'm gonna give you the handheld microphone right now.
Okay. I remember when I was back in 2000. We all have our rabbit hole story. Back in 2013. Oh, sorry.
Nobody can hear you until you.
Hello. Hello. Oh, there we go. Okay. I remember when, we all have our kind of when we fell down the rabbit hole story. When I was in 2013, I'll never forget, what is this thing, programmable money, and you can write a smart contract on this thing, and it's like Turing complete, and what does that mean? And this kid is 25 years old also, what's that all about? I never thought in a million years I'd actually be speaking at ETHDenver, so I'm very excited to be here. And I am the CEO of Algorand, which is another layer 1. We were founded by Silvio Macaulay, who's one of the world's most famous cryptographers. He won the Turing Award, actually. And he is the guy that invented zero-knowledge proofs and also randomized verified random functions. So he's been kind of a staple of the cryptography, but also the cryptocurrency kind of ecosystem well before he actually invented Algorand. He kind of was watching the thing develop for a few years, and he's like, I could probably build one of those. And based on his name and reputation, he was immediately able to raise a bunch of money, and he built Algorand, and we've been live since 2019. So, and it's a pretty good layer 1, actually. We have 1,000 transactions per second. We're moving to 10,000 transactions per second. We have 4.5 second finality. We're carbon neutral. We buy offsets to be carbon negative. It's not a bad place to be, planet Algorand. Of course, the planet is the small one. The big planet is the Ethereum planet, you know? And so what I'm up here to try to do is to try to figure out like how we can do better intergalactic like travel between the two planets, you know? And I think it's the responsibility of the smaller planet to make moves to the bigger planet to kind of invite you to participate in our world. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to cajole you, and I'm actually also gonna try to bribe you to pay attention to Algorand and to build things on Algorand and to develop on the Algorand system. Okay, so you ready? All right, first of all, we got a lot of people here. These are all DeFi that are building on Algorand that are actually here at ETHDenver. So we're really excited to be a part of this conversation here. And we've got these guys here for a couple of days. I won't read them all out loud to you, but just to show you that we have shown up in force. And we've got a lot of, we've got a pretty good DeFi ecosystem. This is not all of it, but we've got AlgoFi, which is a borrow lend marketplace. Yieldly, which is one of our more famous DeFi. That's a staking protocol. TinyMan, also pretty well known. DEX, we got a couple of DEXs now. C3, derivatives protocol. A lot of creators like to build on Algorand. Part of it is the on-chain transaction fees are sub-penny. So it's very good when you have kind of low ticket items and you know you can mint NFTs and whatnot without having high transaction fees. And lots of good stuff going on in music. I think blockchain in general is really important for music. So Opulus and Dequency, and you may have heard of the song that named itself. These are kind of sort of the more cutting edge in the creative economy kind of things that are going on around Algorand. And that ecosystem there is just getting bigger and bigger and kind of jazzier and jazzier all the time. So does anybody know what teal is? Teal? Okay, it's not this. It's actually not this. This is a color. There's so many guys in the audience, you probably didn't even know what teal the color was. It's a color. I know guys only know like 5 colors, but that's actually a color. But it's also Algorand's machine language. It's called teal. And so we have a stack that looks pretty much like Ethereum. So we have an Algorand virtual machine. So we have an AVM like your EVM. The machine language is in teal. And what you code on is Reach, which is a JavaScript language, which is anybody from Reach here? Our friends at Reach developed for us. And also you can code in PyTeal. No prizes for guessing what language that's based on, Python. So this is not a Solidity-based language, so you have to learn something new to develop on Algorand. But it's good to learn something new. It's good for you to learn new things. So I am here to make that easy for you in a couple of different ways. First of all, we're going big in 2022 with hackathons. So you can get a hackathon or developer training anywhere in the world, almost anywhere in the world, and pretty much any time during the year. In addition to the hackathons that we're running, and this is also, we're really going to target kind of women and underserved communities. So we're going to partner with women who code. We're also developing a huge program for learning and online learning about developing on Algorand. So we have sort of all kinds of online courses and MOOCs and stuff that we're putting together on our developer portal. But the other thing that we need to do in order to make it easy for you to develop with us is that we've got to have better developer tools on Algorand, and we just simply don't. We don't have like a truffle suite like you guys have, and so we need to encourage people to build developer tools to make the developer environment easier to build on. And so for that, we are going to give away $10 million in dev tool grants. So if you feel like you can build an application manager or a debugger or a compiler or some kind of dev environment on the Algorand ecosystem, we've got $10 million to kind of give away for anybody that can tackle a piece of that problem for us. Okay, so that's sort of announcement number 1. The second thing about sort of good interplanetary travel is that you're going to need bridges. So you're going to need liquidity to go back and forth between these environments. And as your hero and mine, Vitalik Buterin, said, there are fundamental limits to the security of bridges that go across multiple zones of sovereignty. And so what we have been laser focused on at Algorand is making sure that you can take a picture of the blockchain of Algorand and know what it looks like. And this is called state proofs. So as the blockchain is kind of like spinning by, you can get a crystal clear picture of what's going on at any point in time, and using that state-proof mechanism, which is secure and which is quantum resilient, you can have that picture, and then with a smart contract and a trustless bridge, you can know what's going on Algorand. And so based on that, you don't have that, you can have permissionless bridges based on the back of that. And so there's going to be a lot more on that from Rotem Himo, who's speaking Friday, I think, or maybe Friday, is it? Yeah. Tomorrow, yeah. So definitely catch that talk for the more technical version of that. But the idea of that is that your bridges then will operate by smart contract. Of course, you'll still have the liquidity and you'll still have the UI of it. And we dropped the first piece of beta this week, I think, right? On our state proofs. And so the next thing you need to do is you need to have like dApps that work on an Ethereum environment, also work on an Algorand environment, and dApps that work on an Algorand environment also work on an Ethereum environment. And for that, you need EVM compatibility. And so we're going to drop another $10 million for anybody that can come up with EVM compatibility. So this is our EVM compatibility challenge. This is subtle, and there are many ways to skin this cat. So we are not trying to prescribe what the solution should be, but any kind workable solution that you can come up with, we've got a lot of money to encourage that kind of development. So we're very excited about doing that. So let me just say something about Algorand. You know, we are the smaller planet, of course, but we are in very early innings on Algorand. And you guys know as well as anybody that it's in the early innings where all the magic happens. It's in the early innings that you can kind of make your stake and create some wealth and make something happen. And we are very much still in early innings. And so it's absolutely behooves you to come over and to build and to participate and to help create the economy and the kind of the planet that we're on. And so come on over. It's good over here. And you know, there's no smog because we're carbon negative. So, all right. Thank you very much.
Next up, we got Jorgen from Opera, which is a browser with crypto stuff in it, which makes your life easier because we're all on the internet doing our crypto things, but now there's crypto stuff in the Opera browser. Do you want this one or you want this one?
Yeah, I can take this. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. I know it's getting late, so I won't take much of your time, and it's 4 or 5 a.m. or something like that back home in Norway, where I'm from. So I'll try and get through this. But super to be excited to be here. Love the vibe. Amazing. I think it's the third year Opera's been here. We're proud to sponsor the event and contribute. Fantastic. So I'll take you through a little bit who we are and what we're up to. Some of you might know Opera from before, some not, but we're originally a browser company from Oslo, Norway. We've been around for a while, built browsers actually for last 25 years. We're the first who connected internet users through our Opera Mini browser in Africa on feature phones back in the 90s, and fast forward to where we are today. Quite exciting. We have a decent audience, 350 million users across our mobile products and desktop products that we are now in the process of upgrading into Web3 compatible products. We started to build around core browser features that we think are quite relevant also now going into Web3. Centered around security, ad blocker, VPN built in, etc., etc. And we built actually the first wallet, non-custodial wallet, in 2018. We have existing tech that we're building on. Just quick snapshot. We have a full stack of browsers on mobile and desktop. Opera Mini, which is an emerging market product on Android, and we have a full-fledged Opera for Android product as well, and also building mobile products for iOS. On the PC side, we have our generic PC browsers been around for many years, and a couple of years ago we built a niche browser on top of the generic product called Opera GX, a gaming browser.
And we've taken a lot of inspiration from that product now into the Web3 projects that we have started to look into. So Opera, we're a independent browser company. We are not tied to large ecosystem players. So the only reason that Opera can really exist is for us to differentiate on the products and the features that we build in. So the list of features that you see up on the slide here is actually what Opera pioneered into the industry. Quite unique, and some of this knowledge and experience we are planning to bring into Web3. So last year, Q3, Q4 last year, we started to build a set of new niche browsers on top of our generic stack around Web3. We launched publicly in January on Android and PC versions. iOS is coming in a couple of weeks. So basically, we have three main components of these Web3 browsers. Is obviously Web3 compatibility. We have native built-in browser, and then we have a rich content module that we use to organize information, bring good relevant content into the user's hands. So this is coming. I want to stop there. I know it's getting late. We have another talk tomorrow. We'll go a bit more in depth into what we're planning to do. So I'll say thank you, guys. Enjoy the evening.
All right. Who here uses crypto? Everyone. Who here uses a crypto wallet? Everyone. All right. We got Matt Luongo up, who's got a crypto wallet to tell you about. It's called Tally. Here we go. This one, that one, that one. Cool.
Sup, guys? So I know it's kind of late, but this is probably the most important talk you're going to see today. So if I can have all your attention, quiet down a little bit, get in kind of like a chaotic neutral mood, and we've got 5 minutes to get through 15 minutes of content, so let's do this. So look, I want to teach all you guys how to sushi swap MetaMask in 3 easy steps. If you're on the MetaMask team or SushiSwap or probably Uniswap, because I shoot my mouth off, maybe just don't listen. But for the rest of you, here we go. So subtitle, Love, Loss, and Community in the Time of Vampire Attacks. A little bit about me. I'm Matt Luongo. I've shipped a couple things in the space since 2014. Fold to Bitcoin Rewards Wallet, Keep, TBTC, Saddle. We do that through Thesis. Tally is our latest project. But let's talk about vampire attacks. So what is a vampire attack? The quickest way to explain it is just to show it to you. This is Uniswap. Uniswap is lovely and simple, and there are great decks. Uniswap in 2020 did not have a token. It was a problem. It bothered a lot of us. And so Chef Nomi came out of the ether of the internet to launch SushiSwap. So what SushiSwap did, if you weren't here for DeFi Summer, is they said, yo, if you're an LP on Uniswap, we will give you a new token to move over. And, you know, they basically just forked the code and did a shitty job at the beginning. It got better later, but it was pretty successful for a while. There was a moment where a lot of us who are Uniswap fans were existentially like concerned for Uniswap. But they also kind of sowed the seeds of their destruction, right? Because they didn't have a community. They just had a bunch of mercenary LPs. So Eric actually covered this quite well. What's happened with SushiSwap? So if you're like, oh, what's with the dev funding or who got rugged? Well, the answer is like, well, it turns out they didn't have much of a community, right? I know some of you probably are sushi people, and I'm sorry. But, you know, I think the numbers kind of say it. Sushi's not super relevant anymore, relevant to, you know, toward Uniswap. So outcome for me. There was a moment in 2020 where Uniswap was very worried and where they were not the obvious winner. And that was because some random Anon appeared and gave a bunch of people a token. It was glorious. There was a terrible thing that happened, though. All of the token holders were kind of mercenary. Stakeholders were poorly aligned. The dev team didn't have enough funding. And the community was short-sighted. They didn't really like buy into a vision other than like we're a copy of Uniswap. So when you look at vampire attacks, you look at the space today and you're like, who's used a lot in Ethereum that doesn't have a token, that maybe doesn't follow Web3 values? And for me, that's MetaMask. So, I mean, but why, right? The fox is really cute. But if you think about it, you've probably had a pretty shit experience with like Ledger, or with like them not listening to your support requests, or with new features taking months and months and months. But you know, we've kind of given them a pass, right? I mean, it's MetaMask. They've been around a long time. That's where we all got our first whatever token. For me, I stopped giving them the benefit of the doubt August 2020, and that's because they are no longer free and open source. So this was a personal affront to me. I'm the unfortunate CEO who still codes like too much, and this really pissed me off. But you keep watching MetaMask after that, and this is 2020, and you see like, wait, does that code right there like disallow? Is that GeoIP blocking in MetaMask? What the actual fuck are we doing in this space if we're blocking countries at a wallet level? So Tom Schmidt put it quite well. What they were doing is launching a business. They launched Metaswap, and you know, in his words, MetaMask began to print. They are making something like $200 million a year right now in swap fees. And so you got to ask yourself, like, that is a lot of money. Where is it going? I'm sure it's going to improve the wallet, and I'm sure it's going back into the community, right? But then you got to look at their cap table, guys. Incentives rule everything. So MetaMask is feeling pretty Web 2 to me right now. So hypothetically, if we wanted to do this better, how might we go about it? I think the first step, this is step one of my 3-step plan, build a wallet and a community that's aligned with the values of today's Web3. So not 2016, not Web 2, but today's community-owned and operated Web3. Second step is build in-wallet services that generate fees for a DAO. $200 million a year is fantastic revenue for a DAO. Like, there are not many that are even close to that right now. And finally, credibly fair launch the DAO in a way that pays users to switch. Like, it is very hard to launch a wallet that is 10x better, but if you can pay someone to try it out and they can become an owner in the wallet, maybe that's the trick. So, hypothetically, we're working on this problem. Please check us out on Discord. It's chat.tally.cash. We are the open source, community-owned and operated MetaMask alternative. We work today. Here's the community edition. To be clear, this is not a fork. This is a new community that we've built from scratch, and it's a new code base that we've built from scratch. It is pristine. So if you're a dev and you're interested in working on this, we have $50,000 in bounties, and hell, probably another $50,000 if you just come talk to me and tell me that you want money to work on Tally. Please check it out and check out the community edition. One more thing, come past our booth later. We're launching a DAO and we have popes. Can I repeat? We're launching a DAO and we have popes. Thanks, guys.
All right. Next up, we're talking about Nico. Nico's coming up next. Come on down, Nico. Let's do this. You want to walk and talk? You want to be talk? Walk and talk?
Yeah, thank you. How's everybody doing tonight? ETHDenver. Thank you. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. I'm Nico, and I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit more about Threshold. I'm really excited to be here, and I guess that's it.
We want this to be real close. All right. How's that? Like real close, real close.
Better? Can you hear me now? All right. How's everybody doing tonight? All right, great. So I wanted to thank you guys, first of all. It's a real honor to be up here. That's actually my Bufficorn number 4. I'm really excited to be at ETHDenver. And wanted to tell you a little bit more about Threshold and how I got started with it. And what the heck am I talking about? Threshold, simply put, is the combination of NuCypher and the Keep network. NuCypher provides cryptographic infrastructure that produces, preserves your privacy, and Keep is the privacy infrastructure behind TBTC. Kind of sounds a little bit similar, and about a year ago, the two different communities realized there was a little bit of synergy between the two of us. Rather than working in competition with each other, we noticed there were some similarities and some synergy, and let's work together. In March of 2020, the community put a proposal together, and it was basically a community-launched proposal to essentially launch what would come to be the DAO. So here we are, 2022, and the DAO has officially launched. I especially love working with the community. I originally joined the community as a member of the Keep network. Keep network had, back in the fall of 2021, they offered Playing for Keeps, which was a program to get the community involved. We did a Ropestein testnet project. And prior to that time, I had no computer experience, no programming experience. I'm definitely not a developer. I was actually working as an educator at the time, teaching at a local college, and I stumbled across the Playing for Keeps project. What's especially important about that is, you'll notice the smallest domino. The community worked together, and we all helped each other writing our codes, pulling our Git codes, our Git hubs, and essentially lifting everybody else up. After a short time, I was awarded some tokens from the project, and that was really my first step into working with the Threshold network. We had, a lot of challenges that were involved, but we worked really closely together, and a lot of you guys are familiar with Discord. We actually launched some Discord community groups, and we found that going beyond Zoom calls, we were able to really lift each other up, like I mentioned, and kind of establish a group. We went on from the Keep network and built what is now known as the Threshold DAO. So Threshold DAO is broken down into 4 primary guilds. Originally, we started off with the Marketing Guild. We realized we needed to expand a little bit, and so we worked together to form the Integrations Guild and the Treasury Guild. So at this point in time, if any of you are interested in joining Threshold Network, you'll first join the Discord channel, and you'll be able to select a guild. The Integrations Guild builds relationships, and the main goal of integrations is to work with other protocols. The Treasury, of course, is responsible for the day-to-day operations and managing over $140 million in assets. For me personally, I found that working with the Marketing Guild was the best fit for me. The Marketing Guild, obviously, we worked together to come up with ways to bring forward Threshold Network and to get it into the public eye. The reason that I love the Marketing Guild the most is every Friday we have a 1-hour meeting, and we all meet together on Discord to kind of discuss what projects we're working on, what proposals you might be interested in making, and how you can all help, of course, help each other, and at the same time help the DAO. So for me, that was really my entry point into the Threshold community. I want to invite all of you guys to come and check us out. We have a booth located on the 2nd floor, and the most important part about our group, as I've mentioned, is the community aspect, but also the future of the Threshold DAO. there's something for everybody, and the fourth guild that we're hoping to form will be formed by the community. Members that join our Discord group and participate each week are able to make suggestions. And those suggestions are discussed throughout the guilds, and possible new guilds can be formed. So there's a lot of opportunities for everybody. Again, I really appreciate everybody's time, and I really want to thank everybody for your attention. And I look forward to seeing you guys up on the second floor. If anybody is visiting us from the internet, if they're in the virtual, we have a virtual way to join as well.
All right, next. Test. Test. All right, next up we got Lucas from Filecoin. It's where you put your data if you want it to be forever.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks. Hi, everyone. Let me try to get this up a little. So I'm here actually to speak about IPFS and Filecoin. And for those who still don't really know what the difference is, I just want to put this up for 1 second. IPFS, think it's a peer-to-peer version of HTTP. And then we will Filecoin on top of it, so they complement each other. They're different, they're not the same thing. And Filecoin is kind of a version of Airbnb for cloud storage. Cool. I'm here to kind of tell you a little bit where we are today. So on the storage capacity side, we now have almost 4,000 storage providers that are providing a combined total of 18 million terabytes of capacity. And on the demand side, we're really seeing increasing demand from an explosively growing ecosystem. And you can see a few logos there, just like come check it out. There's really a ton of people building on top of IPFS and Filecoin. And we're doing a lot to kind of fuel that fire. On the one hand, we're trying to educate and inspire the next generation of builders and of storage providers. And then we're also supporting the growing community to execute against an ambitious kind of development roadmap. And let me just double click on each of those. On the ecosystem growth side, we want to continue to invest in builders, and we're doing that at this hackathon. We put out $25,000 in prizes, and we also have grants, and we have accelerator programs. So no matter where you are in your journey of building on top of IPFS and Filecoin, we have something ready for you. This year, we're also going to be working on deepening the integrations with smart contract chains and really solidify our position as the infrastructure leader across key verticals. We want to increase browser adoption. Brave already kind of has a native integration of IPFS, and hopefully we'll see a lot more of that this year. We want to continue to grow our number of storage providers and the capacity that's added to the network. And onboard a lot of data onto the network, both from Web 2 and Web 3. And lastly, but definitely one of the things that I'm most excited about, we want to make Filecoin green, right? So turn our energy and offset it and really drive towards a net negative carbon footprint. And then let me double click on the ecosystem, kind of on the development roadmap. There's a lot of interesting things that are going to happen over this year. The one that I think is one of the most exciting is the Filecoin virtual machine. And you know, he pointed that out. With Filecoin virtual machines, you'll be able to make perpetually renewing storage deals, which enables permanent storage in a fully decentralized and permissionless way. We also have Snap deals coming up. We have Filecoin Green, as I mentioned, and we're working on retrieval markets and a lot more things. So come, check us out. We have, find us on Twitter, find the website, join our community on Slack, on Discord. But yeah, excite and find us at our booth on the second floor. And yeah, thanks so much. And we have swag, exactly. Come get your t-shirts. Thanks so much, guys.
All right, we are coming down to the end. To close it off, before we talk to Joe Lubin, we're coming up with Charles St. Louis of Element Protocol, Elements Fixed Yield. We're also working on some very dope primitives across all spectrums. And here we go. Here's Charles. You want to this one, or you want to walk around?
Oh yeah, this one's good.
Cool. Make sure to send your voice into the microphone.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Charles. I'm from Element Finance. I'm the Chief Operating Officer and Head of Governance. And we're really excited to be back at ETHDenver. It's probably one of our favorite conferences, and it's been 2 years since we've been here, but we finally made it. So for those of you who aren't familiar, Element is an open source protocol for fixed and variable yields, essentially enabling users to seek high fixed yield on their crypto assets by buying it at a discount. And as it approaches the maturity term, let's say it's 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, it comes one-to-one with that base asset. We launched on the Ethereum mainnet back in June 30th, and since then we've achieved total value locked of 178 million. We've launched fixed rates on top of 9 different assets. That ranges from Curve assets to USDC to wrapped Bitcoin to DAI and many more. We also support 6 wallets, and we're looking to onboard many more assets over the next couple months. In addition to working on DeFi primitives, we're also really focused on governance. So governance in this space has evolved quite a lot over the past couple of years, but we've decided to build a brand new system, and that contains 3 main pillars. That's the Governance Steering Council, which is essentially an emulation on corporate governance board of directors mixed with delegation. So in order to get onto this Governance Steering Council, you have to be delegated a certain threshold. And once you're on there, you have authority to spend parts of the treasury. You can push proposals directly on chain, and you can coordinate and govern the actual off-chain process as well. My favorite part of this part is the voting vaults. So with voting vaults, you essentially can assign voting power to any type of position, any person, basically anything. The options are limitless. I'll get into a bit more details about that in a bit, but the last pillar here is optimistic grants, which essentially allow you to stream grants to participants without having to claw them back if they actually don't perform like they normally would. So the take on optimistic grants is basically most grant programs are very pessimistic. They assume the grantee will fail, but in this case, it assumes they're going to succeed, and only if they don't meet this milestone, they'll claw back the funds. So at ETHDenver, we're going to be sponsoring 20,000 worth of bounties that's split between both the virtual and the in-person events. And as a suggestion for these different areas, we have the core bounties, which are around the actual DeFi protocol, so the fixed rate protocol. And that is, the first one is make your own basket of fixed rates. The second is bridging to Aztec. We're working with Aztec on creating a privacy preserving L2. So there's quite a large bounty both on their side and our side to build this integration. Lastly, we really want to see some fixed rate integrations on Yearn. So building some new strategies that we can leverage in the future would be amazing. And lastly, having some automatic rollovers for these fixed rate terms. So let's say you can build a yield ladder or a perpetual redemption. So if you opt into a 3-month fixed term, it essentially allows you to automatically roll over into a 6-month term after that. So you don't have to unwind the position and redeem and roll over and spend gas. On the governance side, we really want to see some more innovation with the voting vaults. So like I mentioned earlier, you can assign voting power to any type of position, even an identity. But the ones we really want to see people hack today are on a Compound Aave voting vault. So that allows you to have your governance tokens in Compound, Aave, or even Maker and still participate in governance through delegation and voting. The next would be an LP vault. So you could have your governance token in an LP position, still maintain the ability to delegate or vote as well. And the identity verified vault is something that I think really pushes the space forward because it increases the inclusivity of governance. A lot of governance systems purely just have token weighted voting. That's 1 vote per token. But in this case, you can assign voting power to your actual users who contribute code on GitHub. They participate in your forums. They participate on Discord. And having them balance out with the actual token holders makes the whole system more inclusive and better overall governed. And the last is an L2, L1 synthesis vote. So this allows you to essentially vote from L2 without spending gas. And then it pushes it to L1 to actually count the vote in real time. So that's it for our bounties. We have a booth up on the second floor, and we'll be around to help anyone in person throughout the course of the hackathon. And we'll have our open Discord community call as well to help any virtual hackers. Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you, Charles. We love the element. Next up, the man that needs no introduction, but I'm going to do it anyways. Joseph Lubin, the reason why Ethereum hasn't died and will never die, is going to talk about his ideas about Ethereum, which is what we're all here to talk about anyways. Joseph, I'll let you take it away.
Thank you. Thanks, David. Hey, everyone. Thanks for staying, the diehards. I'm here to, believe it or not, talk about Web3 and decentralization, like everybody before me, but it's important. At the end of an 80-year debt and Strauss and Howe generational super cycle, the world is a financial, economic, and political mess. Monetary systems are end-of-lifing. The US Fed is stuck between a rock, robbing the future to pay the past, and a hard place, looming wicked inflation. The current global economic and political paradigm is morally, if not financially, bankrupt. We need a paradigm shift, a new organizing principle under which to re-architect everything. Decentralization is that principle. We're building a parallel global economy that will drive greater economic and political agency for more people and groups globally. We're evolving from the age of silos and subjective trust to an age of automated objective trust systems, or as I and others like to call it, the age of community. Web3 is an internet of blockchains and related protocols, increasingly smoothly operating with one another. Web3, the internet of value, is about democratization of the important constructs of society. Web 1 and 2 drove democratization of humanity's relationship to information, commerce, and social networks. Web 3 is now democratizing the trust and governance layers of the planet. They're being built and governed openly as protocols and DAOs. Nation states currently strain under the complexities of serving the many agendas of so many increasingly aware people. Decentralized protocols and DAOs will mature and take some of the strain off of nation states, as they will more granularly serve the people who build, operate, and use them. And with Web3, we're now democratizing the global finance layer. Entrepreneurs and technologists are doing this work out in the open, in contrast to the traditional siloed development and narrowly held control of the traditional financial industry. Web3 turns the Web2 power dynamic upside down, where apps are user-centric and business models are built in a holistic community context. For a few years now, our ecosystem has been building the technological substrate of the paradigm shift. It's a decentralized, open, global super app. We've been building it up in 3 concentric overlapping layers. First, the objective trust layer, consisting of modularized L1s, L2s, and eventually L3s, etc. Secondly, and more recently, DeFi, the global decentralized financial infrastructure and global digital asset settlement layer. And thirdly, we will build or re-architect everything else, the emerging global digital economy, upon these sounder foundations. NFTs are an early element of that new economy. NFTs and collaboration protocols will transform any industry where intermediaries extract too much value, or where excessive platform control or platform risk exists. For the last 2 decades, the web adopted the business model of the 20th century. Step 1, move atoms around the planet to configure and sell physical products. Step 2, advertise to drive often excessive demand for these products, even and especially if people don't really need the products. In the last 20 years, as a business model hangover to the 20th century, we've built a global online super mall and an all-seeing advertising AI that knows us better than we know ourselves and isn't shy about exploiting the population in the service of commercial or political interests. The good news is that we're finally discovering and landing the native business model for the web. It's based on bits, not atoms, so more lightweight and agile. We will work, live, and play increasingly in online collaboration communities, each a neighborhood in the metaverse, and each will have its own community money and other digital assets. Products and services will be delivered on protocols or by DAOs to their community members and related parties. The adversarial company consumer business model will give way over time in favor of a broad ownership economy where all the roles from production to consumption are members of the same collective. Hopefully, the adversarial government citizen model will also fade because DAOs and decentralized protocols will enable more granular governance to be more effective for more people. Web3 economies, also known to some as the metaverse, will supercharge the paradigm shift. In moving from an economy based on atoms to a creativity economy based on bits, value creation will be more explicitly infinite. This will enable humanity to move from a scarcity and fear mindset to one of abundance. This is a shift we desperately need to make soon. Decentralized consensus. Consensus is a new kind of company, like many of yours, that is driving the transition from the age of silos to the age of community. Our original mothership company, Consensus Mesh, has incubated many projects and spun out more than 30 over the years. It continues to incubate and has recently spun out some great projects. Gitcoin is a notable and local example. At the base we have, thank you for that. At the base we have Ethereum 1 and Ethereum 2 clients. We are major drivers at the protocol level of Ethereum, having contributed strongly recently to EIP 50 and 59 and the upcoming merge. Our developer enablement group operates in Fura, customer success, diligence, security audit, and the Truffle developer tool suite. Truffle continues to launch major innovations as it envisions an open collaborative developer tools ecosystem where various teams build interoperating components. To this end, we are founding supporters of the Nomic Foundation, launched a few days ago. Nomic builds hard hat and is committed, as we are, to building long-term infrastructure to catalyze organic growth in the tooling ecosystem. Our direct end user group, provides a user interface to the global open super app for tens of millions of people via MetaMask and MetaMask Institutional. Our Codify, Commerce and Decentralized Finance team, works with the MetaMask team to roll out more financial primitives alongside MetaMask swaps. Decentralization is the direction of travel for our industry and for the Consensus company. Maximizing decentralization without losing usability and scalability is hard, but we're making great strides at the protocol level. I encourage everyone to read the blog at polinia.medium.com for a lucid view of the emerging modular protocol level architecture of Web3. Sustaining maximal decentralization long-term will be hard, but we will be ever vigilant. While decentralization is the overarching goal, it is essential for products, DAOs, for protocols, DAOs, and companies to achieve product market fit for what they're building. This is often not easy to do in decentralized contexts. So we start where we must and we progressively decentralize. Carefully and iteratively, our product teams are decentralizing what we do and how we do it. MetaMask represents end users' digital authority on Web3, but it is also a developer's platform as app developers integrate with it. MetaMask has made great strides towards launching its Snaps plugin architecture. Developers can build Snaps-based apps that can be loaded at runtime into MetaMask with minimal or no dependence on us. The MetaMask team has been working to launch a DAO, a grant-giving DAO, that will enable developers to petition for grants to fund their projects. Our security audit team diligence is building Creed DAO. Security is an ecosystem issue. We need an increasingly holistic view on security, otherwise the spaces between protocols will be exploited. Creed DAO will get paid in tokens for auditing projects. Creed tokens earned by auditors will be claims on the Creed treasury. Auditors will be paid in a diversified set of tokens. And Creed DAO talent will collectively guard against misses that affect the fortunes of the collective. If you're a security auditor, individual, or team and would like to hear more, please contact Consensus Diligence. Similarly, our Consensus customer success and support team is working with LivePerson and others on a protocol to decentralize support functions for the entire ecosystem. Again, here, we need an increasingly holistic ecosystem view on support, as projects offer composable capabilities and users often reach out to the wrong project or for help or when something goes wrong. If this project sounds interesting to you, Consensus Success and Support would love to discuss it with you. Infura has been thinking about ways to federate or more radically decentralize for years. We appreciate the work of projects like The Graph and Pocket Network. E.G. Galano, one of the co-founders of Infura, will speak tomorrow about some efforts in this direction. Our technology and our ecosystem are fragile, are anti-fragile. With every new challenge or assault, we assess, reconfigure, and grow stronger. Many regulators and politicians appreciate decentralized protocol technology. Others feel threatened or do the bidding of those who feel threatened. As regulators attempt to grip too tightly to constrain growth, squeezing certain projects or approaches, those projects will squirt out of grasp and decentralize away any vulnerabilities. When the context of development is fluid and permissive, we build fast, rapidly exploring solution spaces, as we have since the DeFi summer of 20. When the context of development is more difficult, we build for durability. It is encouraging to see so many projects DAOifying or exiting to DAO across the ecosystem. Gitcoin again is notable here, and many are following this pattern. So the aim of all of this is to build towards greater economic and political agency for more people and small organizations. The power has always been with the people. To build at scale, it was necessary to collect capital and therefore power from the people. But now, with the advent of public permissionless blockchain, decentralized governance and automated wealth distribution mechanisms can transform how we build collectively. Web3 will flip the world's systems upside down, putting the user in command and enabling the power to remain with the people and value to flow to the people broadly as we increasingly live in immersive digital worlds where we will spend time working, playing, socializing, designing, teaching, learning, performing, experiencing, and more. I and my colleagues at Consensus would be disappointed if a small set of companies ends up dominating a somewhat decentralized future. This would be an epic fail. Consensus and the many companies with similar philosophies who are driving towards maximal decentralization must prevail in this transition period between the age of silos and the age of community. Consensus will consider its mission a success if, when the age of community fully kicks in, we will continuously build, audit, fix, improve, operate, invest in, stake in, participate in governance of, and utilize thousands of decentralized protocols that constitute the new system of the world. And importantly, we must all be vigilant to ensure that it will be nearly impossible for any actor to dominate any of these important systems. WAGMI. Across the ecosystem, we're better together. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Joe. Yo, you guys made it, and you're still here. That's fucking great. Excuse my language. If you guys are going to the parties, there's a bus right outside that you can just hop on, and it'll take you to the party. I'm pretty sure that's the Meow Wolf, but if it takes you to a different party, sorry. But I'm pretty sure it's Meow Wolf. And so thank you, everyone, for closing out the opening ceremony to ETHDenver 2022. I will see you here tomorrow for all of the talks, including mine, which I think is at 1. And so you guys, give yourselves a round of applause. You made it. I hope you learned a lot with all of these projects and for kicking off the ETHDenver 2022. Let's do this.